A ver si no tapo media pantalla con el... Ay, ahí estamos, my people. ¿Qué tal, gente? Aquí estamos. ¿Qué tal? Buenas noches. No he podido abrir antes, macho. Pero lo bueno es que mañana no tengo turno de tarde, así que podemos quedarnos hasta las 3 de la mañana jugando. Triqui triqui. Hemos hecho ya esto. Teníamos que hablar con la niña, pero no quiero perder más tiempo. Así que voy a ir para la iglesia. Me tepeo desde la iglesia para hablar con el fumón. Pero hoy a las 9, llevamos con una hora de retraso, pero me imagino que no se irá tan rápido. ¿Aquí podemos? Sí. Viajar aquí. A ver, que esto lo tengo todo subido el brillo. Así os puedo leer. Perfecto. Vamos a hablar con el fumón. Tiquitic, 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 tiquitic. Así no perdemos ni tiempo ninguno. Porque es noche de 31. O sea, ahora mismo,
Whoa. What have we
de
here?
hecho, queda un minuto para las 12.
A bridge with
Un
loose
puente con
nails and
clavos.
rot-infested wood that
Eso
creaks
quiere
in the
decir que quedan
wind.
6 días
A construction code
para que salga
violation
Diablo,
if
así
there
que
ever
hay que
was
irle
one.
dando caña al juego. La cosa es que el vídeo de mañana ya lo tenéis programado, el de pasado también, este es pasado. Así que a ver si los puedo alargar un poco más. El puto amo de Rebachol. La brisa marina lleva algo más que sal, carne, ni podrida ni fresca a la parrilla. Alguien está cocinando. Nos están saltando estos mensajes porque normalmente no venimos por la noche, pa' aquí. No lo sé. Como si alguien estuviera cocinando. Esto se ve igual de día que de noche, ¿no?
Just an ordinary wall.
Sí.
Nothing to see.
Nada, con un 28 no me apetece jugármela. Algún día bajaremos el cuerpo. Y tenemos que dejar las cosas en el... Las cartas en el... En donde se guardan lo de las cartas. En el buzón. Las cartas en el buzón. Y así vamos por la mañana a ver al Everred este. Aquí está el jambo. Oliwi.
Gendarmerie, you found me.
Teníamos aquí puntos guardados y tenemos uno guardado. Pa' por sí. Coño, ahí.
His slender figure is backlit.
La
by
señora de
city
la limpieza
lights.
nos dejó pasar.
It's
Beautiful. So tell me, are you here to make things right again?
Es lo que intento, sí. No estoy aquí para encanzar el río, sino para convertirlo en un océano.
Beautiful. I have some good news for you. My Sunday friend is visiting me tonight.
Amigo de los
I told
domingos.
him about you and he'd like to say hello. Step in. He's already waiting.
Un novio de los domingos.
Mm-hmm. That's...
Wait. Suddenly you're digging things?
Sí. Muy bien, hablaré con él. Vale, o sea, a este le podemos
Trust me.
preguntar.
You do.
Quiero hablar
That's
contigo
nice,
primero.
but I don't have anything to tell you. It's my friend you're looking
Ok,
for,
pues
not me.
hablaremos con tu amigo.
He takes another drag of his unfiltered cigarette and looks around. It's getting dark and the neighboring windows have lit up one by one. Downstairs, a cat crosses the yard, disappearing
Gatete.
into the bush.
Besides, I've got to run.
Something tells you you're never going to talk to an individual this cool or mysterious ever again.
To
¿Irte
the
a
city.
dónde?
It's a beautiful night.
Something flutters in the corner of
No
the
lo vamos a
lieutenant's
volver a
We'll
ver.
talk. Just not tonight. Take care, all right?
Oye, 70, un nivel más. Genial. Interroga al amigo de los domingos.
And he's gone again. Looks like it's becoming a theme for him.
Tiene algo muy peculiar, pero no sabría decir el qué.
Different, of course.
Es que son todos, está diciendo todos que es gay. Todas las opciones.
Something so mysterious about the way. Very.
He's barely holding it together. It's all he can do to keep from bursting out.
Para
in
lo
laughter.
homófobo, racista y machista que somos, a veces no se entera de una el Harriet.
Come on, detective. Let's go. We've
Sí.
got a potential witness.
Los amigos los domingos. Un llamado de emergencia, baby. Vaya pinta de pajero. Una revista de negocios trimestral. Y cada uno de estos es un punto de experiencia, acordaos. Cenicero vacío. Me recorre todo el rebachol por asuntos gubernamentales. Me da un poco igual. Platos empapados en una olla. ¡Ey! Hay algo ahí abajo, ¿eh? Panfletos de fiestas clandestinas. Follito con las fechas de las conferencias públicas de la universidad local. El tío que siempre hay alguien observando. Turuntum. ¡Ey! Mira, ya tenemos otro gorro. Podríamos haberle dado este. Una foto vieja de este mismo apartamento fechado del año 01. En el ambiente persistente perfume caro de hombre. ¡Ey! Un kimono. Teatralidad y electroquimia. Electroquímica. Tubos de pinturas en una capa de periódicos viejos. Una exquisita cama con un dosel de metal. Ok, vamos a hablar.
Officers of the Revachol Citizens Militia.
Tú no esconderás niños, ¿no?
You shouldn't be seeing him in an intimate setting. For some reason, you feel this man is your superior.
Mm.
Superior, but he's not in the command chain.
Ok.
His hands are clean and well manicured. This is a man who knows the importance of appearances.
Ah. Entonces ahora aquí tendríamos 2 puntos. Sí, efectivamente. ¿Veis? Ya tenemos otros 24. Ayuda mucho la tontería esta del la ventaja esa, como se llame.
My name is Charles Vildrouin,
Bilduan,
and I'm an
funcionario del
official
gobierno de la
with the
coalición.
coalition government. I work for the Institute of Price Stability on assignment from Sur-la-Clé. I heard you talking to my friend outside. Very good. Super. I am here to assist you in any way possible.
No, first ask an innocuous personal question to get the interview off on the right foot.
Ok.
Yes, make it clear you're the one setting the terms here.
Vale.
Oh, yes. My friend has a great eye for these things. He refuses to tell me where it came from. It's a mystery. That's really all I can tell you about it.
That didn't work at all. The lieutenant takes out his notebook and nods to you to proceed.
¿Es verdad que presenciaste el
I'm
linchamiento?
sorry to say I did, officer.
He didn't see the hanging. He saw the little show staged by the Hardys. Let him talk. He may know more than even he knows.
Vale, desde el principio si no te importa. Las cosas chinas estas hubiera sido más molón, tío, para preguntarle. Joder.
Officer, it's very difficult to describe what I saw that night. It was so surreal to me, like in a play.
Lo sabía, no había puesto a grabar, he puesto solo la transmisión. Bueno, pues luego me lo bajo.
He holds out his hands and blossoms his fingers, like a drama teacher setting the scene.
What do you mean, like in a play?
It was just so strange. I could barely comprehend what was happening. I was on the balcony when it happened, getting some fresh air. I remember that first they came in, carrying what looked like a body. And then I saw all the surrounding windows go dead, one by one. That's when I understood. I should not be seeing this.
Ujú.
That lines up with previous testimony, doesn't it? Well done, detective.
Gracias, caballero. Creo que ya me hago de una idea. ¿Algo más que destacar?
Only that there were about 8 or 10. I couldn't make out anything. It was so dark. And it was quiet. Quietest lynching I've ever heard of, let alone heard. But I suspect you knew that already. I can't say I'm surprised. The fine reputation of the men and women serving in the RCM is well deserved.
Bueno. ¿Qué hace un funcionario como tú, Martínez?
The coalition is only looking out for the price stability. Inflation is a killer, like a heart disease blocking
Pensaba
the
que este
normal
era de
circulation of the
la
economy.
coalición.
It must be controlled. The economy impacts the entire international community, which is why it requires international oversight.
Vale, pero ¿qué haces aquí en este apartamento?
Well, I'm renovating it. It is an interesting project. The building used to be a 12-story skyscraper before the cannons took the top 4 stories off.
Lo sé.
You could say I'm undoing some of the material damage the international community caused when we arrived here.
Entonces eres un burócrata.
Yes, as I said before, I am a commissioner from Sur-la-Clé working for the Institute of Price Stability. This is one of the main projects of the Moral Intern.
De la moral intern. Ojo, cuidado.
Wait, there isn't actually an Institute of Price Stability, is there? Or maybe there is. God, it's impossible to understand whether someone from the moral intern is
Nosotros no
joking
queremos
or
contarles
not.
las cosas que sabemos. ¿Qué es esta comunidad internacional de la que hablas?
La communauté internationale is what Revacholians colloquially call the coalition.
Ujú.
In other words, the nations that stopped the disaster of
Vamos a
Elysium.
preguntarle todo. ¿Qué es la
It
estabilización de
is
precios?
the most important thing.
Eso no me
It's
dice
the
nada.
central goal of any sound monetary policy. Maintaining the price stability is essential to maintaining high levels of economic activity, which is essential for maintaining high levels of employment,
¿Ok?
which is essential for maintaining the social stability.
¿Estabilidad social o estabilidad de estatus?
Basically, it makes sure the price of bread doesn't change.
Sí, lo he
Precisely.
entendido.
Too much inflation, bread becomes too expensive.
Sí, sí, de esto
Too
sabemos
much
ahora mucho
deflation,
precisamente, de
it
la
becomes too
inflación.
cheap for
Aquí en
bakers.
España.
That's why the Institute of Price Stability works to keep inflation just below 2%.
¿2% de
But
qué?
not too far below, no. Too below is also. The coalition believes in the importance of informing the public about the benefits
Claro,
of
¿por qué no?
a sound monetary policy is essential for addressing uncertainty. But oh, I don't have my leaflets on me today.
No tienen sus...
That's too bad. You can always call our information line.
Ya he oído hablar de la moral
Making
intern,
information available
pero
is
quiero
part
saber
of the
más.
Moral Intern's commitment to transparency. It's the international organization for moralists, hence Moralist International. The Institute of Price Stability is just one of its many mind babies. As is the
Así que en
coalition.
realidad trabajamos para la moral intern. No suena mal.
There are more nefarious powers to work for than the moral intern.
Volverte hacia el amigo de los domingos. ¿Eres moralista?
But of course.
Claro. ¿Por
Because
qué?
moralists believe in a normal, stable world governed by democratic values.
Tenientes moralistas se lo preguntaría, pero igual es un poco feo, ¿no? Cuando estemos solos se lo puede preguntar. ¿Qué es un mundo normal y estable? A mí Martínez no me parece ni normal ni estable.
Martinez? No. Martinez is something else.
¿Qué me dices de estos de Rebachol? ¿Es parte del mundo normal?
Revachol is generally difficult. It's led by an interim government, which means it hasn't yet achieved full democracy.
Mm.
But they are working towards it. You're all doing very well here, relatively speaking.
Este sería lo que elegiríamos, ¿no? Este es el comunista, este es el fascista. Si cada vez que hablo con la gente elijo la opción de ninguna de las anteriores, eso es moralismo. No creo que seamos moralistas.
Is this option D usually the most reasonable answer?
Todo lo demás suele ser súper extremo.
Sounds like you're a moralist indeed, my friend.
Hmm?
Moralism is all about compromise and achieving the achievable. It's pragmatic, realistic, and level-headed, an ideology for doers. Are you a doer, my friend? It looks to me like you are. Now, enough of this delightful political interlude. Was there anything else you wanted to ask?
Háblame de Sur-la-Clé.
What's there to say? Sur-la-Clé is a modern, urbanized country that measures very high on the Human Development and Freedom Index. Mostly, though, it's known as the executive heart of EPIS. Moreover, it is a great sponsor of less emerged countries. Revachol is only one of its many darlings whose progress it supports and cherishes.
Darlings? That can't be an official designation.
¿Qué convierte a Rebachol en la querida de Sur-la-Clé?
Because a great percentage of Revachol's culture hails from Sur-la-Clé.
No
Its
creo que eso le
language,
guste a la gente de
its
aquí, ¿eh?
people, its cuisine even. Or at least in the downtown La Delta area.
Jamrock and other parts of the international zone have been mercifully spared of Sur-la-Clé's love for meatballs and mashed potatoes.
Las albóndigas a mí me gustan, el puré también, macho. Oh, no me pongas en contra de eso. Basta de negocios, sabemos de otra cosa.
Whatever you wish. officer.
¿Qué puedes contarme de tu amigo?
Ah, my friend. My friend is a good young
Vino
man.
desde Kedra.
His family immigrated here from Kedra.
es
Kedra is
eso?
a candidate member of APIS.
Una candidata a la SEP.
Between you and me, their potential membership is a more contentious issue.
¿Qué quiere decir?
That it's never going to happen. They entered negotiations in 21 and it's been pending ever since.
¿Qué es eso del EPIS que tanto mencionas?
EPIS is a very special program developed by the moral intern to support certain Occidental nations.
God, yes. Sweet standardization. The
Estandarización.
backbone of rationality and commerce.
It was such a wild success that we expanded it into an economic union.
Vale, pero
For
¿qué significa?
why it stands for progress and stability, like the moral intern as a whole.
¿Qué significan las letras?
It's been such a wild, extraordinary success thus far.
Ni te
We are
molestas en
very
escuchar mis
excited to
palabras,
begin
¿verdad?
A supranational political alliance.
Estados
The
Unidos de
United
Occidente.
States of Occident.
¿Va a ser como este lugar?
You mean Revachol? No, it's going to have transparent democracy.
¿Rebachol pasará a ser parte del EPIS?
It's one day going to be a candidate member of EPIS, sure.
Ujú.
Except that candidate members never become full members, do they?
Mm. ¿Acaso no has dicho que los miembros candidatos nunca se convierten en miembros de pleno derecho?
No, candidate members do become members. Why do we even have the whole system in place if they don't? But we were talking about my friend here, not politics.
¿Cómo os hicisteis amigos?
How did any of us become friends? Bad things happening on the Indian Insula? Oil platforms ablaze in the night? Civil wars lasting for years? Finally, the international community is forced to step in.
Estás descubriendo cómo la coalición ocupó
One of the
Rebachol.
wonders of democracy is that everyone is allowed to have his own opinion. And not just allowed, encouraged even. Have you ever tried debate?
¿A qué te refieres?
Debating. You should consider joining a debating society for adults.
Sí,
I
divertidísimo.
hear they're oodles of fun.
No puedo
I used to be a
esperar.
flyer for one, but
Pero si no tienes flyers, pesado. Nunca los
now that
llevas
I start
encima.
thinking of it, it was for an improv class anyway. It's this funny theater thing, you know? Very creative.
Ujú.
Helps relieve stress.
A chill runs down your spine as you envision a half-dozen people in professional attire standing around a chair, awkwardly pretending to be
Los
waiting
clubs de
for a
improvisación
audience.
no los veo
It's
muy,
neither funny nor
muy divertidos yo
creative.
tampoco. Todavía no has dicho quién es.
Sorry. Who?
Tu amigo el fumador del balcón.
But I told you, officer. He's a bright young man here to pursue his education.
¿Cuál es su nombre?
Officer, you have to understand. I can't give you his personal information. I'm sure you have your own methods and databases, right? Please don't put me in this situation.
No sé para qué quieren hablar con nosotros y luego no nos cuentan nada, macho. Así que todo cuanto puedes decirme de él es que está aquí para estudiar artes.
He's deeply enmeshed in the study of the fine arts, yes.
¿Qué artes?
He's a truly free spirit. He likes all the arts. Perhaps graphic design?
¿Qué haces tú solo en
I'm
este
just
apartamento?
enjoying the view.
Disfrutando de la vista, pero se ve un fiambre colgado en un árbol.
A dead body we still need to get down. But
Listen,
A baby is crying in the neighboring apartment. Waves crashing in the distance. The sound of sea below the window.
Luego las olas.
the Insulindian Bay. This place used to be a luxury accommodation before the revolution. Apartments, of course, were much bigger then. A few walls have been added here and there, leaving some of the tenants without a private bathroom or a kitchen. But the million real view stays. You can't take that away.
Estamos hablando
My
de tu
friend
amigo.
comes and goes. I'm sure you'll see him around. He's a busy bee.
A busy bee. What an odd choice of words.
Me gustaría preguntar
I'm
otra
all
cosa.
ears, officer.
¿Hay un fugitivo de la moral inter en Martinez?
A fugitive?
Hypothetically speaking, you might add.
Hipotéticamente hablando.
Well, I would say that is very bad indeed. What sort of a fugitive are we talking about here?
Tengo la impresión de que se ha infiltrado en varios lugares.
That could be quite bad, depending on what sort of place you're talking about. That is
Es que
extremely serious.
tampoco quiero
Corporate espionage may
delatarlo.
technically be legal in Revachol, but this fugitive must be turned over.
A moment, if you don't mind, sir. You do realize what you're doing, don't you?
Of course, you're turning over a dangerous lawbreaker.
Very real trouble. I won't tell you how to do your job, but remember,
He won't tell you how to do your job, but when you turn back, the man is looking at you, expectantly.
Colgarle el marrón a otra persona.
Now's your chance, sire. Which of your enemies would you most like to make trouble for?
Barclair.
Evrard Clare? Surely you're mistaken. I have. The only thing Evrard is a fugitive from is the exercise machine. Besides, in certain less advanced nations, the moral intern may defer to local custom.
Customs, like blatant systematic corruption.
Ujú.
Customs, like complete disregard for the rule of law.
I'll make note of your claims in my report, but I'm sorry to say it's likely to end up in the back of the filing cabinet somewhere in Mirova, unread and forgotten.
No pasa
You
nada.
think it's fine that Martinez is a safe haven for international fugitives?
No.
Well, no matter. I should thank you for bringing this to our attention. Your efforts have been noted. Now, was there anything
Creo que hemos
else
salvado
you
de
wanted to
decirle lo de la
discuss?
otra. Gracias, tengo lo que
A
necesito.
moment, officer. Do you have everything you need from me? I'm afraid we won't have the chance to speak again once you leave.
¿Y eso por qué no podemos hablar más
It's
adelante?
against diplomatic best practices for an official in my position to be discussing murders with local militiamen. And I'm pressed for time. After you leave, I should be leaving as well.
Ok.
That's not the real reason he's so apprehensive. Men in his position shouldn't be seen loitering around in underprivileged young men's apartments in the middle of the night.
Sure, go ahead. It's a beautiful space.
What's this? We're getting reports of normal, reasonable, temperate, political opinions somewhere in Martinez.
Esto está mal. Soy todo un
Of
radical.
course, a radical
Centrista
centrist.
radical.
In these bright and loud times where 1,000 frequencies drown one another out, sober thinking is a radical act.
Ujú.
It's time to become a citizen of the kingdom of conscience.
Reino de la conciencia. Dime dónde está el reino de la conciencia.
It is not a place. It is a moment in time that can only arise in the right circumstances.
¿Cómo se
In all
provocan
human
dichas
history,
circunstancias?
incrementally. History's greatest catastrophes have been brought about by people trying to make the world a better place. That's the genius of Dolores Day. She recognized that progress is meaningless if its gains are lost because of instability.
Ujú.
Real, lasting change can only come about gradually, increment by increment.
¿Qué pasa con todas las cosas que van mal ahora?
Tisk tisk. Just because you live in the present doesn't mean you have the right to place your needs above the needs of the future.
Ujú.
You may never live to see the kingdom of conscience. Your children may not. Even your grandchildren might not. But that's no excuse not to keep working.
No me parece del todo
What
malo, ¿eh?
rationality?
Cuánta sensatez.
What sang-froid?
¿El reino de la conciencia va a hacer solo cosas o solo preservar el status quo?
Do you believe the status quo is preferable to chaos and bloodshed?
No.
Then you've never lived through real chaos. Sometimes, in the face of great disaster, defending the status quo is progress.
¿Cómo es en realidad el reino de la
The
conciencia?
kingdom is difficult to comprehend and even more difficult to describe, partly because humanity will need to discard many of the categories that define and limit it today. The kingdom of conscience is post-capitalist, post-national. It's also post-industrial, post-ideological, and even post-sexual.
Vale, lo voy a
Slow
aceptar.
down, Mr. Reasonable. Did you miss the part about compromising and taking things slow?
Pues ya nos veremos por allí.
That's right.
Una nueva idea del reino de la conciencia.
Real democracy is just around the corner for Revachol.
Vale.
When that real democracy kicks in, a long time from now, we are all going to be so much happier.
Ok. Estoy mirando, estoy buscando lo del reino de la conciencia. A ver lo que es, en el vídeo que están todas. Kingdom of Conscience. A ver qué es lo que da esto.
Kingdom of Conscience.
Din, dan, dan,
The
dun.
Kingdom of Conscience.
Opciones moralistas curan 1 de moral. Y nos aumenta el límite de volition y lógica. No está mal. Lo podemos poner a aprender, ¿no? Una hora y 25 menos 2 instintos. No lo estamos usando mucho por ahora. Tenemos 34 de 100. Ok. Lo hemos visualizado todo por aquí, ¿no? Creo que lo hemos visto todo. A ver si nos deja
Was there
decirle
anything
algo de...
else?
No,
Of course.
pues que te vaya bien, majo. A ver si nos dejaba decirle algo de las cosas, de la ropa que hemos cogido. Vale, ahora tenemos esto. Vamos a entregar los... Y esto sigue cerrado, ¿no? Sí. Vamos a entregar las cartas. Las cartas que hicimos firmar a gente que no es la que le corresponde. Porque tampoco queremos que los puedan desahuciar. Solo queremos que nos dé el tiempo necesario para que nos diga el otro dónde está nuestra pistola. O nos dé nuestra pistola. Y pegarle un tiro al cadáver y sacarlo. Aquí está el buzón.
The dented yellow mailbox greets you with its graffito and bullet holes in the front.
Sabía que tendríamos que usar este buzón para algo.
Yes, for sending mail.
Echar el sobre blanco en el buzón.
You drop the white envelope in the darkness. It lands with a soft thud on what sounds like a couple of letters. About a week's worth of mail as collected in there. They'll empty this very soon. Probably did the right thing. You can't trust that slug Everard. You know he's going to play you somehow.
Lo sé, tal cual.
All right, let's go back to Everard. If we don't mention anything to him, he won't know before it's too late.
Exacto, ese era el plan. Pero todavía no porque podemos aprovechar la noche. Demuestra que su pandilla quiere lo que podría llegar a cortante. No sé, no nos dan más pistas de esto. Acertijo de cabeza huevo. Pero otra vez busca las palabras adecuadas. Pastilleros a montar un club nocturno. Que investiguemos la iglesia. Habla con Jules sobre la palidez cuando aquí no estaba presente. Esto es por la mañana. Chaqueta sucia que no sabemos dónde se limpia. El mural que todavía tenemos eso muy bajo para verlo. Y obtener las 2 firmas. Podríamos darle rollo al mural y que salga que hemos fallado. Y seguramente nos den otra opción para hacerlo, ¿no? Otra manera para hacerlo. Lo que voy a hacer primero es ir a investigar la iglesia. Smallest Church y Sensei.
Heavy wooden doors, more than twice your height, stand shut in front of you. The rectangular sea-worn ornamentation appears in stark contrast to the padlock.
Examinar la
carpintería.
carpintería.
Into the wood. The carving on the door is block-like and angular. The surface is smooth from the wind, but moist to the touch. This cheap-looking padlock is sturdily built.
La pegatina.
You see a yellow circle,
Círculo amarillo con 2
two X's,
X.
and a big curve
Un
below
smiley.
that looks like a mouth.
Un muerto
You're
sonriente.
British. There is something blindingly modern about this symbol. Its modernness puts to shame everything you've seen before.
¿Qué es lo que hace tan
It's
moderno?
the contrast between the cheery, chemical yellow and the rigor mortis.
¿Habías visto este
As
símbolo
if
antes?
The cheery. He takes off his glasses and uses a blue handkerchief to thoroughly wipe them clean.
No.
¿Qué te
Looks
parece?
like a dead man smiling. Suggests junior delinquency.
¿Qué te hace pensar que sea de
I
delincuencia
haven't
común?
seen that sticker before, and I'm not a youth. That level of conceptual thinking is not part of my skill set.
Intentar despegar la línea y romperla. Venga, si fallamos una que sea esta, no me parece tan importante. Vale, esta
Your
está fallada.
hands are clammy from the sea air. The piece of sticker keeps slipping away. The lieutenant hands you a blue handkerchief. He looks a little dismayed when he
Vale.
gets it back. There's
Ahora
nothing
sí.
like the sound of a sticker unpeeling. Now it's stuck to your thumb.
Vale, en el portapapel esta es la última anotación.
Looks like today was
Dale
a
vidilla a los
gold
documentos.
star day.
Tarea secreta. Vale. Abrir el candado con la llave.
The lock turns easily. You hear a click as the shackle pops.
Let's go.
Vale, es que con el iPad para leeros en el chat, tío, no veo justo la vida y... Lo voy a poner al otro lado. Lo voy a poner aquí. Vale, ahí no me tapa. Pues ahí no veía la vida y la moral que teníamos.
A
Lo que
great
pasa es que
bush
de
of
este
air
lado
rushes into the
suelo leer
dark
menos.
innards of the
Pero bueno.
church, as though rushing to fill a great vacuum in the heart of the city.
Esta será Dolores Day, ¿verdad? Y estos son los... La maquinaria que nos dijeron. Los cachivaches. Te invade una extraña quietud. Será mejor que no corras. Camina. Más patrones en zigzag igual que los que viste afuera. Escarabajos de la corteza no. Parece intencionado. Es algún tipo de grabado antiguo. Esta grotesca figura de madera parece sin acabar. Han dejado abierto un libro de oraciones. Un cuenco lleno de agua y un cable de corriente conectado directamente a él. Oh, oh, oh. La pizarra está llena de ecuaciones complejas. Parecen recientes. Una grabadora portátil Harmon Woshy. ¿Estará grabando algo? Las bobinas del magnetófono giran vacías. Alguien está desviando la corriente eléctrica del exterior hasta esta antena.
A machine stands in the corner, watched over by the figures on the stained glass window. It's
Another radio computer.
Radio computadora.
And this time it's already turned on.
these machines sometimes harbor traps, he thinks. Alarm systems and the like. Let's be careful.
We should leave. I doubt this place bears any connection to the case.
Vale, es que no sé si ponerme lo que teníamos de conectividad para esto, ¿no? Ropa, ¿qué nos daba conectividad? Conectividad, estos guantes. Solo esos guantes.
A machine stand. The lieutenant doesn't say anything.
Sí, pero esta máquina es igual que la zona comercial
doesn't
maldita.
It's also quite similar to the one we have down at the station. Must be the same model.
The one you saw earlier was the
Mira,
Ream
conectividad.
Civic. This is the Ream
La habríamos fallado
Prefect,
porque hemos sacado 10 de
a
10.
model number RC7024. The Ream Prefect is the governmental
Déjame
version of the
trastear un
commonly
poco,
used
colocarte detrás de la red de
Reams you see
computadora.
fluorescent play and print buttons on the keyboard. A hatch connected to the central. The lieutenant says nothing. You see the machine's glowing frame reflected back.
Por
from
rebuscar el
behind the
compartimento.
hatch sits a cube-like crisscross of filaments,
Febrero, marzo.
smoldering in the dark like fireflies. Another filament memory. Press play to talk with the repeater.
Reproducir.
The speaker comes to life. Static seeps through the machine's planar magnetic driver. An old lady greets you.
La misma de la otra
Her
vez.
Good evening. Votre accident en Saint-Brun. This is the East in
It's the same old woman you spoke with through the radio computer in the
Mhm.
doomed commercial area.
Ivonne soy yo.
Good, thank you. Please repeat. Is this the personal log? I have 2 machines registered to this company.
Saint-Brun, that's the church.
Estamos en esa
And
iglesia.
Rue de Saint-Guylaine, that's the
Zona
doomed commercial
comercial.
area.
Anything else I can help you
Ok,
with?
he mirado dentro del núcleo, pero en la etiqueta del filamento solo pone reg mar.
Good. Please repeat the password.
Let's look around. There's no use trying to guess the answer.
Ok.
Received. Votre accident. Is there anything else? Sleep well. Votre
The machine's keyboard is still illuminated, revealing fluorescent play and print buttons.
Vale, no voy a imprimir nada todavía. Por si acaso. ¿Llevamos instinto o...? Instinto no nos está ayudando mucho en general, ¿no? Voy a dejar conectividad por ahora. Ahí hay cosas. Unas tapas, ¿no? Son unas tapas. Empatía. Money. Una araña tejido sutil alrededor de la columna tallada. Qué bien. Fragmento de cristal roto, muy colorido. Aquí hay una bufanda. La escarcha forma patrones florales del cristal que dificultan la visión. El ciervo dibujado en la escarcha de la ventana. Una bufanda aumenta el umbral de dolor.
The silence in this part of the church, it's almost palpable. All the shifting matter and
No veo nada
shuffling
más.
of living things is gone. Nothing seems to exist beyond the church anymore. Maybe if you were to stand in just the right spot, even your footsteps would be completely silent.
Espera, creo que todavía oigo algo.
And then it's gone. Almost all of it. But for the
Levísimo
faintest
zumbido.
of hums. It seems the sound here is detached from its source somehow, if not blotted out outright. Truly unusual. You can hardly hear your own breathing. You produce a few muffled thumps, after which the silence feels your voice is barely audible. Not a howl,
Una cámara del
but the
silencio.
softest of whimpers.
¿Qué brujería es esta?
The lieutenant points to his ears and shakes his head. Then he leans closer.
Can you hear anything?
Casi nada, lo cual me está empezando a preocupar.
The church just has strange acoustics, some engineering trick.
Si se trata de un fenómeno paranormal,
Please, detective.
He's trying to act dismissive, but at this particular moment, he's more open than usual to the idea of paranatural phenomena.
mirar hacia el campanario.
The orderly rows of ceiling panels become barely visible, then disappear completely in the darkness of the tower overhead.
Vale, 92. Gracias. Pasaste zoom out. ¿Pero a dónde nos vamos?
It's like there's something moving up there. A shadow has emerged from the tower and it's making its way toward you
Se dirige hacia
through
ti,
all the other shadows.
en el techo.
Yes, the darkness makes the ceiling feel infinitely
Y se está
far
moviendo.
away.
Seguir los movimientos desde la sombra.
It's not a shadow anymore, becoming more substantial as it gets closer. The shape of an animal descends.
Es Batman.
Officer, is there something up there?
Ujú.
Oh no, you've lost sight of it. Where did it go?
Tienes la barra de hierro en la mano. ¿Pasa? Ah, coño, un Gollum. Creí que habíamos
You
muerto.
see something hanging from the rafters,
¿Qué
looking
hago?
straight at you. with dark eyes. Maybe it's possible to
¿Qué es
talk
esto?
to it.
¿Qué es esto? Todavía no hemos mirado aquí tampoco. Esto. ¿Hola? Ondini.
The shadow is a man made of the same stuff as the carpentry of the building. He is studying you intently. The crab man.
El hombre cangrejo. ¿Quién anda ahí?
The man leaned forward a little, fixing you with a steady, unreadable gaze.
Habitual alcohol use has made you into a scared little pussy, Holmes. But don't worry, everything's gonna be alright. You come to the right place.
¿Qué es este tío?
That accent is Villalobos,
Villalobos.
a peninsula in Mesk and a district in Jamrock. There's a sizable contingent of Villalobos-speaking Mesks in Rivershaw.
El lugar indicado para qué.
Here you can receive the mother's love. And when you're ready, she will take your hand and lift you out of the despair at the bottom of that bottle.
This man is obviously a habitual narcotics user. Do we really need to question him?
O sea, que también está colocado. No solo
I'm
raro.
put off by this religious stuff, he thinks. And maybe the ceiling climbing, too. It's all very hard to square with the lieutenant's own view of reality. Hey, and what was that about the bottle again? You haven't even drank that much lately. Lay off it already. Shish.
No sé nada sobre el consumo de alcohol.
Oh yeah, sure. You don't know anything
Ya llevo 3 días sin
about
beber.
alcohol use. You got it all under control, Way. I could smell the control all the way over here.
Me va bien, gracias.
I know it's hard to admit that you got a problem. I was like you once. Couldn't take an honest look into my own heart and see I was in pain.
You know, actually, since we're here, you may want to pay attention to what the ceiling climber is saying.
¿Quién te crees que eres? Pero si eres un colgado, nunca mejor dicho. ¿Qué me estás contando?
It doesn't matter who I am, Way.
Güey, ¿qué
I'm
pasa?
just
¿Estos son
bringing
los
you the
latinos?
message of the mother's love.
¿Los de Villalobos?
She don't want you to hang yourself on your own stubbornness. This is the Church of the Mother of Silence. You are welcome here.
You have no idea what the fuck he's talking about. Is he just trying to throw you off your game? Whatever it is, he's quite confident about it. Just look how gracefully he sways. 'Tis not an act, my liege. Save him perchance, he hath deceived his very self. This man is a zealot.
Ok, tú debes de ser el hombre
Never
cangrejo.
known myself to be a crab. But if that's the name you got for me, I won't stop you from using it.
Es que no te movías como un ser humano.
I always thought of myself more like a flame, flickering along the rafters and beams.
No.
That's not the only technique he's working on.
Ah, que
Look
te
at
hayas...
those carved sculptures. And is that a satchel of tools over there?
Vale, ¿todas las esculturas son obra tuya?
Sure am. Whittling wood used to be something I just did to busy my hands. Now I use those same hands in service of something greater than my own restlessness.
Vale.
It's all just for the mother, man. No need to overthink it.
¿A qué te dedicabas antes de convertirte en hombre cangrejo y tallador de madera?
I was in a gang, Way.
Ah, muy
But
bien.
my memories
Como
of
todos
that
los latinos,
time
tiene que
are
estar en
fading.
una banda, machos. Es que
Most of them are already gone.
no pueden hacer otro estereotipo. Si eres latino en un videojuego o una peli, ¿estás o en una banda o eres la que cuida la casa a los niños y la casa está embrujada? Va a ser un presagio de la perdición.
Nah, ese, it's not like
El heraldo
that.
del octavo sello, logro
Best thing
desbloqueado.
that happened to you, losing your memory.
Do you remember your name, sir?
The lieutenant is not particularly interested in this information. He's just trying to assert some control.
Tiago's my name.
Tiago.
But those syllables don't mean much to me these days. A name isn't just your identity, but also, so to speak, your place amongst your fellows, your place in the world. I ain't got no use for such a place anymore.
Ujú. Me llamo Harrier Dubois y mi lugar en el mundo es Teniente Jeffreytor II.
That's just the thing, Holmes. None of that matters.
¿Qué haces en un sitio como este?
This is a special place. There's a perforation in the world up there, a way out into nothingness. This church was built around it for purposes of veneration. I circled it, nurtured by the silence bestowed by the mother. One of these days, I'll be pure enough to go drink from it directly.
¿Quién es la madre del silencio de la que no paras de hablar?
Oh, that's no simple question, Ese. She is one who can be painted or sculpted.
Lo has intentado, ¿no?
She is a cavity in the dark beyond sense.
Como la que hay para
She
allá.
saved me,
Ese agujero en la pared,
but I couldn't
en el
describe
cristal.
her to you.
¿Qué pasará
No
cuando
one
bebas
can,
de esa
Holmes.
perforación?
And I will be incinerated, but not destroyed. Finally, I won with the state of the world before reality began.
No sé, mira, como el final de la llama de la locura en el Elden Ring.
That sounds a bit like substitution behavior, no? You know a thing or two about that.
¿Estás seguro de que no cambiaste una droga por otra?
It's not like that at all, man. It's just faith and joyful service.
Too gleeful, those words. He is lying. Not to you, to his very own self.
Ujú. La fe es como una
I've heard
droga.
that before, Way, and I know I can't convince you on the spot. But think, when's the last time you woke up from silent communion? with a
Recordemos
hangover?
no estar de acuerdo.
I know it will take time. Don't sweat it.
Sigo sin entender qué haces en la
I know
iglesia.
it will. I'm a seraph, Holmes. I sing the mother's glory.
Enseñarte a ti mismo. Soy el poli superestrella, cántame
I
algo.
am from no Marietti, if that's what you're thinking. And the song I sing is silent as the mother.
Claro, esa también la sé cantar yo y todo el mundo, macho. Es que tiene como algo aquí atrás, ¿verdad? ¿No sé, es pelo muy raro o parece que tiene abierta la cabeza?
Marietti is a mesque style of music and dance, commonly seen at all manner of festivities, especially weddings.
Ujú.
It's delightfully quaint. He lost his cool there for a moment. Seems you hit some nerve.
Ujú. ¿Cómo encontraste siquiera este lugar?
Hard to say. I think I did some construction work here, back when I still had material worries. Up there, I realized what the true purpose of the church was. Been spending a lot of time here ever since. The past is nothing
Esto es
to me
tuyo,
in a
mostrar
way.
la buzón de los zapatos.
I think they were. A long time ago. I had to shed them like skins to get closer to the center of the silence. You could have them. I don't need them anymore.
Ok,
They look pretty dapper, actually.
tengo más
The
preguntas.
sinewy figure lingers on the wooden beams, blending into the shadows.
¿Sabes dónde está el otro rarito? Señala extrañas máquinas alrededor.
Other spooker?
Vieja estudiosa.
Esa viejita es muy estudiosa.
Mm.
Don't know, Holmes.
The Aita is Grandma?
Yes. Aquí vive otra persona y es una viejita.
No. I just call her viejita because of her clothes.
De hecho, es muy joven.
She's actually quite young. Or maybe not that young. Age is just one of the many masks we wear.
Creí que voy a decir Eches ya está en Amber. Se va a prisión de cabeza.
Wait, what if it's Ruby?
Did it ever seem to you like she was hiding here from something?
You mean like a fugitive?
Ujú.
No, man. Quite the opposite. I don't think she cared much about authority or anything else for that matter. Maybe only about her machines.
I see. And where is she now?
I told you, Holmes. I don't know.
¿Cómo es que no lo sabes si ambos vivís aquí?
Don't really follow her comings and goings. Just see her typing on her computer now and then. We got different interests.
A ver si me la puedes escribir un poco
I'm
más.
afraid not, Essay.
No.
You just have to wait until she comes back.
A que vuelva o
Or search through her
cotillear
radio
su red de
plays.
computadora. Por casualidad no habrás escuchado a la viejita decir la contraseña de su red de computadora.
Too many times, Essay. You need it for something.
Sí.
Surveys are a good way to fish for personal information, especially in the name of public safety.
Don't sweat it, vato. The password is afterlife death.
Tras vida, muerte.
What you think of that? Makes me almost pity la
Ok.
Nihilita.
Vamos a acabar sus diálogos. Llevas mucho tiempo aquí, ¿no? ¿Sabes por qué está abandonada la iglesia?
Police raid a while back.
Did you witness it?
Not really. Or at least I don't remember much of it anymore.
Unos pastilleros convertir
The
este
mother's
sitio en un
love
club
has done
nocturno.
its job.
Es todo lo contrario, ¿eh? La madre
That's
del
what's so
silencio y
great
estos
about
quieren
them.
montar una discoteca.
It lets you forget about everything. The ones in the tent outside, right? I see them. Guessing they're the ones who call me a crab.
¿Tienen motivos para tener
Probably
miedo?
scared of me. Nah, man. They look
Okay.
pretty funny. And I don't harm no one anymore.
¿Qué te parece lo del club?
Why not?
Porque no molestarían
They
solo estar
wouldn't
arriba en
bother me none.
contemplación. Ojo.
I'm usually way up there, imbibing. Might even be nice to have some company.
Ok. De acuerdo, pues gracias. Seguro se pierde en la oscuridad impenetrante de la parte de
That
arriba.
was an interesting
Yes,
conversation.
yes.
However, I'm still not sure whether we'll find our suspect here.
No, pero ya tenemos la contraseña del este. Me pregunto si en el otro lado, con esta misma contraseña, podremos hacer algo.
The machine's keyboard is still illuminated, revealing the speak.
Good evening. Votre good. Please repeat.
Es la vida o muerte.
I have unlocked the filament. After ending the call, please press print to access the filament.
Ok.
Votre accident. Is there anything else I can do for you today?
No.
Sleep well, votre accident.
The machine's keyboard is still illuminated.
Ok,
The
imprimir.
printer prints out a long text document with
Me
dated
semeja a un diario
paragraphs.
personal.
It looks a bit like someone's journal.
Leer el documento.
The first entry, made
4
on
de
the 4th
febrero.
of February 51 by an unknown author, is short and concise. Arrived at the church. The door was boarded up, so I used the crowbar to get inside. Looks like the place has been deserted. Nothing out of the ordinary, but the lieutenant leans closer, scouring the printout over your shoulder. Just as you finish reading, he looks up, muttering under his breath.
4th of February. That's over a month ago. Whoever set up those machines has been here for quite a while.
¿Crees que la bitácora podría tener relación con el caso? Bueno, o leer la segunda entrada.
Our case? No, I don't think so.
Ujú.
It must be some local eccentric.
Ok, leer la segunda entrada.
6th of February 51. Had a little chat with the local fishermen. Said I shouldn't go near that place, that the church was spooky and ridden with narcotics. It's a little spooky, all right. Still haven't figured out the electricity.
Leer la tercera
7th
entrada.
of February
Por fin tiene
51.
electricidad.
Finally got the electricity in. Next on the agenda, a new
Antena
antenna.
nueva.
I'm thinking ESCA series, something advanced.
¿Para qué necesitaría una
Why
antena?
would anyone need any of this equipment here?
Pues la cuenta
8th
entrena.
of February 51. Bought the antenna. Had some problems setting
Timo
it up.
le ayudó.
Called Simo for help. Heard the others are back to making art. Drinking somewhere out of town. Sulislav started a
Sulislav.
rock band again. Lexi has been seen asking money from strangers.
Esos nombres no nos suenan.
But at least the artists have their act together. They're qualified labor. They can get work anywhere. Graphic design, ads. The programmers are doing fine too. I mean, they're programmers. The writers, though, they're fucked.
¿Están haciendo un videojuego o un programa de radio? No, diseño gráfico no, para el programa de radio no lo van a ver. Es que como en el otro lado también estaban, igual están haciendo un videojuego.
I just have to
quedaron sin
find out
pasta.
what caused that data loss and be done with it. Still don't understand how it managed to wipe out the backup when the backup wasn't even connected to the front. I know. Everyone thinks it's impossible. They say I must be lying. I'm here to set it right.
Pérdida de datos.
Seems like something to do with
radiocomputadoras.
radio computers. Unfortunately, I don't know enough about them to understand what the author is saying. Something about the backup data getting destroyed. And how everyone
Artistas,
thought it was
programadores,
immortals
Lexi,
for.
esta
I
esta
think these
gente.
people worked in the radio computer games business. The
Ujú.
one we saw in the Doom commercial area.
Deben ser sus
They must be
compañeros.
our former coworkers.
Leer la quinta entrada.
12th of February, 51. Brought some food from the grocery store.
Una huelga en el puerto,
Apparently,
sí.
there's a strike going on in the harbor. Definitely not happy to see the Martinez people again. Everything's now set up in the church.
The
Trabajando
strike.
por su cuenta.
We are nearing the date of the murder.
Ujú.
Keep reading. I'm interested now. I want to know what's that radio anomaly that sent this person here. in the
Ok,
first-
sexta entrada.
25th of February, 51. I've been sending data up to Lintel for a while now, trying to recreate the data loss, but nothing. Didn't even feel like logging in, the disappointment. But I did discover a curious audio-spatial anomaly at the back of the church. I've named it the Swallow. It swallows sound.
Ujú.
Need
Tengo que
to get
hacerme
some
con-
mics.
Is she talking about?
Leer la séptima entrada.
28th of February, 51. Yes, the first recordings confirm that the swallow is real and I'm not just losing my mind. It's a pillar of silence with a diameter of approximately 3 meters. Seems like the higher I go, the less I record. This might be a coincidence, or it could be connected to the data loss that led me here.
Ujú.
The pillar of silence.
Hablando del
She is
silencio.
talking about the silence. Is she suggesting it's more than just an architectural quirk?
¿Qué clase de rareza podría ser? Mira los cuencos a
The
tu espalda.
lieutenant doesn't answer. He follows your gaze,
Ni
studying
el
the
rastro de ondas
basins.
en el agua.
The water shines in them. March
Leer la otra
51.
entrada.
Some kind of young disco men
Ujú.
have appeared next to the church. I've been trying to record the silence to find the epicenter, but now it turns out I've also been capturing the future of dance music, one neo-disco song over and over again.
La que más me gusta de todo el host.
Fortunately, the song is so monotonous, I was able to devise an
Ay,
algorithm
me siento
to factor
atacado.
it out. The other day, one of the disco men came in. Before I could even say hello, she got scared and left. Good. I don't want anyone distracting me from my work. That disco man must be a cell.
The girl on the ice? Sounds like her, yes.
Novena entrada.
March 51. I got a call from the repeater station. Someone has tried to access
Nosotros.
the radio computer in our old office in Martinez. Can't do anything about it. The storekeeper still doesn't want to let me inside the building.
Ese soy
Thinks
yo.
I'm part of some
Yo fui
kind
quien
of curse.
rompí la...
How Martinez of her.
Ujú.
I knew it wasn't a good idea to meddle with that machine.
¿Qué más?
No. It was a great
Tal cual.
idea. You're learning
Yo he aprendido
things.
cosas,
This is how you learn things about machines.
obviamente. Leer de la décima entrada.
March 51. A new 2-meter aux cable. Noodles. Crackers. Ping energy drinks. Water. Toothpaste. Gum. Also some canned air.
Joder, para que te dé un ataque al corazón. Sí, parece comida gamer, ¿eh?
Your reading was interrupted by the sound of the church door opening.
¿Quién anda
A
ahí?
strange woman makes straight for the radio
Zona.
computer.
A support. Hola, buenos días. Tucu. Hay que esperar hasta que venga esta señora caminando hasta nosotros.
Breaking into my radio computer, I see.
Es tal cual.
I do apologize for the intrusion, madame. We are with the RCM, you see.
No one's hiding here. It's just me and my computer, and it has been this way for weeks. Now please give me some room. I need 2 seconds to see that you haven't destroyed anything.
No,
We should
soy la
talk to her.
hostia.
After she has rebooted the machine.
Ujú. Reinicia la maquineta. Que voy a ver esto.
In white, silver, and apricot faience, the young mother of humanism stands above you.
¿Esto cuánto le queda?
A crack runs
84.
across her body. She is impossibly tall, oval-faced and sad. A dark and radiant majesty. This is her
inocencia,
innocence.
Dolores
Day.
Day. Dolores Day. Sí, sí.
Cradled in her arms are a pair of glowing lungs,
Vidriera.
clearly visible from underneath her
Déjame
flowing
en paz,
dress.
mujer.
You
Debería
should
ser
kneel.
rollo. Venga.
Your knees touch the floor. The floorboards are hard and cold. There, you kneel among the snowdrifts, diffuse light falling on your hands, from beyond the glass.
Mira hacia
The
arriba.
woman looks down at you kneeling. She towers among her followers, architects, laymen, courtiers. There is a sad smile on her lips.
No paramos con
and
la,
a glint in
con la
her green
linterna.
blue eye of what? Compassion? Remorse? She acknowledges the passing of someone who is still alive.
Compasión, remordimiento, aflicción. Imposible de vivir, no entiendo. Supongo que será compasión,
As
¿no?
that soft word passes through your mind, the lieutenant draws an X-shaped cross from shoulder to shoulder.
Así.
Your fingertips touch your chest 4 times. Then you rise from your knees into the apricot-colored light of the window. Above you, the woman still smiles her distant smile, sundered by the crack in the glass.
Es Dolores Day.
The old woman in the village was right.
Ujú.
This must be the DeLorean Church of Humanity in Martinez. It's a minor landmark, not easy to find. Most maps misplace it. It was built not long after Ravachol's founding,
Ok.
300 or so years ago, by first-generation settlers.
On the coast of an uninhabited archipelago where only animals had roamed
Chipista,
before.
y esto lo digo
in
yo
the
por
wild
desgracia. Ahora
regions.
verlo escrito no parece tan guay como cuando lo digo. ¿Qué más
There
sabes?
used to be 7 stave churches on the coast. Les Setza, they call them.
Quemadas
The
durante la
Seven Sisters.
revolución,
We
las
should be
otras 6.
respectful here, although the building appears to be deserted. I do not believe we'll find the instigator here.
Respectful? Is the lieutenant a follower of DeLoreanism?
Yes, we all are. Her name, body, and rule are synonymous with humanism. The laws we enforce are
Me
DeLorean
gusta
in
parecer una de
origin.
las autoras.
The woman looks by in silence.
No te
It's not
tomaba por
spiritual,
el...
it's constitutional. The DeLorean system does not demand faith, only accordance.
¿Cómo he sabido que es la madre del humanismo?
It's a mystery.
Vaya.
A mystery sprinkled with... All you know is, this is the young mother of humanity, and that you should go. Do
Reconstruir la
something
vidriera.
else. A jigsaw of broken shards falls into place in front of you. A ghostly reconstruction of the stained glass window.
¿Qué hizo añicos la
Before it was shattered,
vidriera?
there was an unknown.
Cojonita.
A motor carriage? A gunshot? Someone falling into it? Or maybe just hooligans looking for something.
¿Quién es la
to break.
anciana?
The escutcheon on her throne
Irene
says,
la navegante.
Irene the Navigator. She is depicted as an older woman.
La reina la
wearing
que
thick
aconsejaba su
rimmed
inocencia de...
eyeglasses, holding small figures of wise men, common men.
¿Qué dice el
worshiping
lema? Hemos fallado un 80 y algo, ¿eh?
in luminous black letters. Après la vie, mort.
Sí,
Après la mort, la vie de nouveau.
la clave del
And
otro lado.
then, along the left side, après le monde, la gré. Après le gré,
Mundo
le
de nuevo.
monde de nouveau. After life, death. After death, life again. After the world, the pale.
La
After the
palidez.
pale, the world again.
Ujú.
This is
Igual
the
esto
great
nos ayuda
leitmotiv
algo
of
a
humanism, a
hablar
summary of
más
the
con la
effect
Joyce.
of the discovery of this isola.
Death, life again.
Ujú.
This exaltation is common in DeLorean sacralism. In the early years, it was even incorporated as the RCM slogan. It was deemed subservient to use a strongly moral intern-related motto. We already
Okay.
suspected of bootlicking.
¿Cuál es el
The
lema
sentence was
actual?
justice,
Unión,
union,
prudencia
prudence,
y
and
fuerza.
force.
Me gusta más el otro.
So do I.
El mayor instaurador del comunismo. ¿Cómo? Es que ha saltado ese logro.
The mother of humanism towers above you.
Teoría
A
crítica.
wax painting
¿Qué
on
tiene
a
que ver?
cracked pane of glass. Nothing has changed in her expression.
¿Cómo vamos de esto? Podemos poner uno más y volverlo a intentar, que estamos a punto de subir. Enciclopedia 6. Esta ha sido un poco por capricho, la verdad. Dejarte la vidriera y ahora volvemos.
The mother of humanism stands
No me la
above you.
falles.
Despite the damage you've done to yourself, the title appears lodged in your
Y Dolores Day.
hippocampus. No amount of Commodore Red can wipe her sad smile from your brain thing. It has survived the deluge and haunts you still. The highest category of historic
A
individual
punto de asimilar lo
an
otro.
embodiment of the world spirit. More, An innocence is elected to office, but an innocence is infallible. The decisions made by one are not decisions. No, we are alone. 300 years ago, in the wake of the discovery of this Isola, the Insulindian, by explorers from the continent of Muindi, she is, among other things,
Vale.
the innocence of inter-isolary travel. Many things. You know she was a woman of the court, the wife of an influential Marchese, and eventually the principal
Reina
advisor
Surense en las
to
ruedas sur la
Irene
Clef.
La Navigateur.
¿Algo más?
Terribly,
Terriblemente
women of the court
inteligente.
were expected to play. She made the most of her position in the
Ella era, por
antediluvian
supuesto,
court.
una mantenida.
Court visited by the most prominent thinkers and artists. She was an almost preternaturally magnetic and intelligent. It was on her advice that she was crowned 2 years. Wow, indeed. When her innocence was declared, bystanders report that is why the lungs are the symbol of love for the cultures of the Real Belt.
Ok, cuéntame
As
más.
did we all. In a city called
Realmente no me
Vesperanski, she was
interesa,
dressed in a white and oh yes, she looked like midwinter snow was beating the cobble. One of the men in this something that had Dolores Day was shot in the chest with a fowling
8
piece
veces.
8 times. The man thought this inhuman quality
Que tenía
terrifying
aterradora.
is a term too emotionally charged. Although she's often considered to be the greatest human, she was the most socially secluded and least self-aware of all the innocents.
Okay.
The Mesk state, suggesting those who fight against it are not. She adored chess, yes. Little is known of her Marchese husband. It's as if he vanished. This subtle terror is part of her iconography.
Lieutenant Yefreitor, you've stood there for over 5 minutes. What are you thinking of, if I may ask?
Es hermosa, no es humana, gritar criminal de guerra. ¿Guarda relación con el
She's
caso?
been dead for 3... None of this is, in fact. This church, the coast.
El pensamiento. Ya lo
Kingdom
tenemos.
of conscience. The kingdom of conscience will be exactly as it is now.
Moralistas restablecen
Moralists don't
moral.
really have beliefs. Some
Y nos aumentan los límites un poquito. 95, estamos a punto de subir otro nivel. ¿Podemos hacer algo
the
más
mother
aquí?
of humanism stands above you.
Yes, we all are. Her name, it's not spiritual.
Vale, vale. Quería ver, no nos ha dejado usar esas otras opciones.
What is it? Yes. Or no. Not anymore.
Ese proyecto está
She
muerto.
doesn't seem surprised to be recognized.
Vale, no he roto nada.
No, you just printed out my personal log
Ya
and
lo
left
sé,
it
lo
on
sé.
paper.
Perdona, pero ¿quién eres y qué estás haciendo aquí?
I am Soona Luukkanen Kilde, the former lead programmer of Fortress Accident and RSA radios. I have over 16 years of programming experience, and I'm proficient in both Vox and Orbis
Hay mucho
languages.
también ahora por aquí. Sí,
If you're not here
exactamente.
to hire
Orbis
me,
no lo conozco.
I don't really know how I can help you.
Did she say over 16 years of experience? She must have started
Mhm.
programming when she was still a teenager.
Vale, vamos a hacerle todas estas preguntas, pero voy a por agua. Que me ha quedado ya calendorra. El agua. Es que me he puesto unos pantalones cortos que me quedan grandes y se me caen. Así que me tengo que levantar con cuidado. Porque son los más frescos que tengo y claro, no llevo nada más. ¿Has visto al hombre cangrejo?
No.
¿Pero sabes que anda por ahí?
Yes.
Él te ha visto.
And
El hombre cangrejo te ha visto.
I don't care about crab men.
Vale, ¿has visto a alguien sospechoso por la zona? Digamos, una mujer llamada Ruby.
What? No. No one's suspicious around here.
No, si es que no te enteras de nada.
She has not seen her, sire. It is true.
Ok. ¿Por qué hay tanto aparato en este sitio?
I brought them here. These are my machines. Please don't touch anything.
¿Para qué es la antena?
I use the AR1 as my RAIN prefix
Entiendo.
processing unit.
Radiocomputadora.
Mm-hmm.
¿Y esta antena es tu unidad de procesamiento?
Yes? You really don't know anything about radio computers, do you?
Sí, un poco.
All right. Well, all radio computers perform operations up on air. So in order to gain more processing power,
Claro.
you need to invest in a good antenna.
¿Qué quieres decir con la
On the
antena?
front, the unified front of radio waves.
Vale.
It's all around us.
No me empieces a hablar técnico porque me aburro.
I guess it is. So far I've been quite satisfied with it, but it's not the cheapest one on the market. Anyway, you should do
¿Qué haces con la
some research before you
radiocomputadora?
I'm working.
The machine seems almost alien with its pulsing core.
¿Trabajando en qué?
Could you just shh for a moment? Or get to the point.
¿Tu radiocomputadora no fue fabricada exclusivamente para uso gubernamental?
So you do know something about
¿Que
computers.
te he dicho que sí, hostia?
You're right. Prefect is used mostly by the government peeps.
4. Bueno, podía tener más. ¿Sí que trabajas para el gobierno?
No,
Ah,
I don't.
entonces ¿cómo tienes una?
Because I needed something good for my investigation and RAIN Civic is widely agreed to be below all standards. So I had to upgrade.
Ok.
Besides, owning a RAIN prefect isn't such a big deal anymore.
No, actually, it is kind of a big deal. You don't see ream prefects in every police department, for example.
Ok. ¿Cómo lo
I know a
conseguiste?
friend of a friend who used to freelance for the coalition. I was actually aiming for the military-grade RAIN Rational series, but couldn't find one. Prefect is mainly based on the same technology as RAIN Civic, so it's kind of a rip-off.
¿Qué de los cuencos
But
de
yes,
agua?
they are connected to my RAIN Prefect. Whatever you do, just please don't move them, okay?
Short and terse. There you have it. Whatever she's using them for.
Intentaré no tocar nada.
Great.
No me has explicado una mierda. ¿Qué estás haciendo en una iglesia abandonada?
You really like those questions, don't
Sí,
you?
que soy un policía, no sé si te has dado cuenta. Joder, es que la gente en este videojuego hay algunos que es que se te van por las ramas totalmente. ¿Me quieres contestar lo que te digo, coño? Te voy a pegar un tiro al cuenco.
No, I'm not. It's just me and the crab man.
¿Qué
I'm
investigación?
looking for the location of a 2mm hole in the world.
Wait, what?
Explíqueme, por favor.
She's looking for a disruption in the radio waves. That's what her personal log said. The lieutenant raises his brows,
Dale.
but doesn't say anything.
El agujero guarda relación con la pérdida de datos que se menciona en tu bitácora.
Yes, that's what led me here. But I suspect it might be something a bit more complicated than that.
Un agujero en el mundo. ¿Qué significa eso exactamente?
Exactly. What does it mean? Up to now, it has been impossible to say what it is because it's impossible to measure nothing.
Vale,
What do you
tía.
think it is?
¿Qué
What
sé?
qualities does nothing have?
No sé.
How do you measure something that does not exist?
Una vagina sideral.
That's a little above your pay grade at the moment.
I don't know. Are we? That's what I'm trying to figure out here. But how do I figure it out?
Ok.
You measure it by its surroundings, by that which does exist.
Es raro,
Which
hemos
is what
fallado
I've been
una
trying to
de... Una
I tried
de...
using hydrotransducers to record
Enciclopedia.
the silence.
Hydrotransducers. So that's what those water basins are. Devices for recording sound through water.
But honestly, it's not progressing very well.
¿Alguna idea de dónde puede estar el agujero?
Somewhere underneath those roof beams, I assume.
Only a faint crisscross of rafters can be made out from the dark.
Porque aquí.
There's this place at the back of the church. A place where all audible vibrations seem to decease. I've named
La
it
tragadera.
swallow. And the higher you go, the less you record.
Spit or swallow, eso también lo he oído yo en otro lado.
The Pillar of Silence? Are you sure it's not just an architectural quirk?
Maybe, but it's oddly close to the physical coordinates of the data loss that led me to this place.
Nosotros seguimos en la nuestra, por ahí es donde pulula el hombre cangrejo.
I know.
¿Crees que de alguna manera él podría ser el responsable?
I don't.
Ok. Has dicho que la investigación no iba bien. ¿A qué se debe?
Because it's just trial and error, trying to locate the swallow, the exact point in space. And I don't have a... You know what? It would be really helpful if you could just stop talking and let me work.
¿Qué pantalla estás viendo? Porque yo no veo nada. ¿Tú cuánto querías saber del alrededor agujero de 2 milímetros en el mundo, por ahora?
Great. Thanks.
¿Qué opinas de la música tan sanodina?
What? I hate it.
I
Bueno,
bet she hasn't even heard it.
¿es para escucharla? ¿Escucharla de verdad?
Yeah. Like all the time.
Ujú.
My tent neighbors don't really ease up with their partying.
Pues la van a poner aquí, ¿eh? Estoy más con ellos que contigo.
Maybe I'd have to be on drugs to get it, but to a sober mind it just sounds like uninspired rug whipping. No idea what it has to do with either dancing or music.
Claro, claro. ¿Pero qué te parecería un club de música dance anódica?
This is about those speed freaks in the tent, isn't it? I've got some news for you. It's not a nightclub they want to build here.
Entonces, ¿qué es lo que
Take a
quiere?
guess, why don't you?
Sigo pensando esto, ¿eh?
I can't believe they got you so easily. Go have another talk with those up-and-coming entrepreneurs, will you?
Good luck. I'm not coming in there.
Ok, te dejaré trabajar tranquila por ahora. Hablemos con los muchachos. También podemos volver a la casa para que se vaya este y hablar con Joyce de la calidez. De la palidez. La calidez no. De la palidez no se habla. ¿Me entiendes, colega? Buenos días. Buenos días.
The young man with the tape recorder
This is hardcore. Hardcore! Hardcore to the mega!
Welcome to the Mega.
Internally coherent. All core! All right! Yeah!
He furrows his brow as his very large head traces the sublime, invisible movement of the music in
Hardcore! Ah!
Muy hardcore.
Is it though? But is it? I mean, really? I am the mic enforcer. I am the chicks checker. Yeah!
Vamos, que no lo hemos entendido, ¿no?
Jam. Hardcore! Hardcore! Hardcore to the internally coherent. All core! All right!
he furrows his brow.
Hardcore! Ah! The question is, what is the question? But there was a question?
¿Qué es lo que tenemos que decirle al tío?
Hardcore! Hardcore to the internally coherent. All core! All right! Yeah!
He furrows his
Hardcore! The question is, what? But there was no question.
No hay salida buena en esa, ¿eh?
Huh? I see you're here.
Había
again.
una pegatina en el
What sign,
este.
man? A sticker. You mean the yellow?
interesting. He wants you to describe it, though he already knows what it
So I can hear you do it. Sometimes the outside gaze helps us reflect on. Annoyed. Don't bother. I get piss off, Andre. Me and Mr. You shouldn't talk like that. Right. Noted. Sorry. Anyway, what was it like? Good, good. What did you want to know?
¿Qué lo hace tan moderno?
Simplicity was brought to us by, well, hardcore, the sticker, the clothes, the music, same thing.
Me parece increíble.
It is. Yes, you're the 23rd person to get it right, and I've asked 23 people. Looks like it's a dead guy smiling to the entire human race. Really. We're all the same. Same eyes, same smiles, saying death. He defeated history. We are living in the age of history. The present moment and life are the hardcore. Or maybe he's not dead. Maybe he's just... It should be sold. But not... I guess one could write it... Nah. Still, you heard me.
Perno de metal que tiene en la mano. No lo entiendo. Voy a preguntarle a la muchacha de fuera antes de venir y hablar con el otro. Oliwi.
The shaggy-haired girl kneels on the sea eye.
So you talked to my associates, right?
Os
Are you
ayudaré.
Great. Let us know if there's any progress, will ya?
Qué
We've been waiting
legendaria.
for weeks here.
Todavía nada. ¿Qué viste dentro de la iglesia?
Oh, that.
She's less prone to blurt it out, crab man, than the others.
Adelante, dime.
Okay. Oh, she was dressed
Sí.
like someone who's been raised by their grandmother. And then, you know...
Ya hemos hablado con
right
ella, por eso me lo
behind
estoy
her, a man
saltando.
crawled down. He stopped right before he got to the...
Like a crab, you say?
Lo vi al hombre
You
cangrejo.
saw him?
Los vi a
Does it mean that
ambos.
you went in there? Good, so you believe me.
Ujú.
You should go tell this to Andre. He'll know what to do next.
Ok. Me gustaría ver más cosas sobre tus
My
socios.
associates? I haven't got much to say about them. Sorry. I just don't tell people...
To the cops.
Me?
Un
I'm
pájaro
a silver
plateado.
bird. Don't know what makes you think it'll be any different later,
Trata de
but...
conseguir que... Ok. Podrías decirme algo, se ha tratado bien, cabrona. Te voy a tirar al hielo. Te voy a ahogar ahí mismo. André,
Hi again. So, how are things going?
Logic. Ojo. Ya vamos en 58. Sé que Noise tiene su rollo de los sinusoides, pero ¿cuál es el rollo de cabeza huevo?
He's a quiet man. Mostly communicates through music. And by being a master of ceremonies.
¿Qué es un maestro de ceremonias? ¿Es un MC o un Dungeon Master?
You know, a host. A declaimer of slogans. He's a performer. Gets the people going.
Menos mal que no se puede oler, porque me he tirado un pedo, chat.
Interesting, sire. A bit like
Me hacen a
you,
lentejas.
an MC for short.
Sí. ¿Cómo te comunicas con él?
Well, he's just kind of here. I don't really know how to communicate with him.
¿Alguna vez has hablado con él de verdad?
Yeah, sometimes. When I stumble and find my way into his center, you have to hear a lot of hardcore to the mega first though.
Ujú.
The man smiles mysteriously. Choose. I get it. He's a puzzle.
Ya, si le hemos dejado hablar todo lo que quería, ¿no? Comprobado la iglesia.
And what happened?
Hablé con el hombre
Oh, man.
cangrejo.
Who is he? What did you think?
Para ser sincero, ha estado bien. Muy espiritual.
Huh. Interesting. What's he doing in the church?
Predicando y rezando por lo que
No
parece.
matter. Is he gonna be a problem? Yeah. Noid is right. Let's get back to the point. What are we gonna do about him?
Dijo que lo del club nocturno no le molestaría en absoluto.
I don't know, man. Doesn't it feel like a major
No.
hindrance to you? A spooky guy climbing around when all the guests are trying to have
No
nice
creo que
friendly
ni
time
tú ni
time.
nadie les importa un
I
bledo.
guess it's not a massive problem now that I think of it.
Everyone is welcome to dance till the morning light.
Yeah.
Maybe. I guess we'll figure something out. Okay, but what about the other spooker?
Ujú.
The one in Grandma's clothes? A programmer? That's odd. What was she like? Did you ask her about the nightclub?
Yes.
Come on, man. Who will you trust? The spooky programmer or us?
Feel the love. Get down and feel it.
A half-hearted sell of something which does not seem worth buying.
You'll get there, believe me. When we've got our gear set up, things will be flowing and pumping. Anyway, now that it's settled, how did she seem?
No le hizo
I
ni
mean,
pizca de gracia. La...
about the dance club idea.
What a pity. That's my favourite thing in the world. And she doesn't like it at all.
A shame. What can we do now? Do you see a way out of this jam and into a laser-lit future of dance and unity?
Me parece guay.
Unity! Dance!
No se iría hasta que no acabara su proyecto, así que acabe su proyecto,
You
¿no?
can't just evict her.
No pienses desahuciar. Hay que buscar otra solución.
You, honor man.
A que te vas para el hielo tú también.
No, Noid. He's right. Maybe we've approached it the wrong way after all. I'm sure there's a workaround.
No sé si tengo que poner más puntos en violencia o esas cosas, pero nos dan muy pocas opciones de ser ultraviolentos, ¿no? Será porque hemos puesto muy poco.
The lines in the dark exist! Coexist!
At least Crabman seems like an advanced being. He's hard. He'll understand. Yeah, he can do his climbing thing in the tower. And the programmer, does she like anodic dance music?
No.
Egghead cannot believe what you just said. It makes him pump the jam a little slower for a moment, but then he returns to the full swing of it.
No worries. We'll figure it out. If coexisting fails, you can always muscle her out, right?
Puedo intentar convencerla, no la voy a echar.
What do you think? Excellent. Good luck, my friend.
172, ¿eh?
Goodbye, officer.
¿Sabes lo que voy a hacer? Guardar rápido aquí. Y voy a intentar esta. Y si no sale, la repito por la del 80 que nos ha fallado antes.
Okay.
La repito. Pom 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 pom.
A number
Ahí
of
estamos.
things don't add up.
Recapitulemos.
How about gather around, kids? The young speed freak puts down a busted capacitor and looks at you. The one with the large head seems very enthusiastic. Their would-be leader is less amused.
Vale. Vamos a soltar todo el rollo este.
But you still are.
What happened?
Música disco es lo que me pasó.
I've been trying to say we need the next step in dance music to happen fast!
Shut it.
What? I have! I've said that!
Todavía queda algo de inspector en mí.
Is silent.
Zona dijo que no has sido de todo sincero con tus planes. Tu respuesta fue muy poco convincente. Estás sobrio y te resultó difícil. Esto no es esto, tal cual.
I have no idea how you arrived at that conclusion, but it's wrong.
One speaker. They have
Un
one
altavoz.
speaker.
No tienes auriculares. No necesitas los auriculares para eso. Sé que los empeñaste, probablemente para pagar el equipo de laboratorio.
I'm sorry, but there is no lab equipment.
¿Dónde
and
está
no
su
plug-in
compañero? ¿Lo ha perdido?
What do you mean, friend?
El otro altavoz.
It's a one-speaker system.
No, no lo es.
It's monodynamic. You wouldn't know the first thing about sound reproduction in anodic music. Other speak.
This may be the brain damage talking, but you've definitely
No,
never
monodinámico no.
monodynamic or one speaker systems.
Nos apetece estar aquí por su ingrediente activo.
Said it was for his nose. What more do you want?
Likely pseudoephedrine, almost exactly the shape of ephedrine.
Lo hemos clavado,
Ephedrine
pensando que era de droga.
and so
Agua
does
destilada, la piedra angular de
pseudoephedrine.
cualquier laboratorio limpio.
Of all cellular-based life.
El éter
What's your
etílico.
point, Lawbringer? Make up your mind. First it's the sweat, then it's the ether.
Creo que no es necesario que siga sacando pruebas, ¿verdad?
No shit. That's... Come on, that's...
Punible por ejecución sumaria. Ilegal.
It's not. Fuck, man. It's difficult to get along with some people, but we're trying to make an effort.
¿Estás
We're on a
sobrio?
mission here.
¿Te resultó difícil mantenerte sobrio para esta
You
reunión?
don't need drugs to be hardcore!
Igual tú no,
Shut the
pero
fuck up, Egg.
puede que no huevo. Pero necesitas drogas para sobrellevar los días en los que no me esperas.
Climb down from the equestrian monument.
En resumen.
man. Consciousness is new to the universe.
Lo sé.
What exactly is it you know?
André, ¿qué voy a hacer contigo? Se van a ir todos al río menos el cabeza huevo.
What do you mean, do?
There's resignation in his voice. He's almost ready to drop the act. The optimal way to go about this would be indifference. It begins by you telling him you don't care about any of this.
Me la trae al pairo.
Really?
Claro. Quería preguntarte sobre otra cosa.
You wanted to just ask me about something else?
He thinks for a moment. Then,
Things are just way too hard for an entrepreneur in this city. Because we are! We just gotta turn it into a speed lab first.
You know, to get our foot in the door.
¿Para qué me
Like I
necesitabas?
told you, spooky arseholes moved in while I was getting all this stuff together. A month ago, the place was empty, and now it's all spooked up.
Ah, ¿puedes que parte del material que había allí fuera de estos?
No, man. They're spooky, all right. It's just that they would also probably call the police if we started cooking speed in there.
But the sign was way off too. I couldn't feel the love at all.
So, what now?
this is it. Judgment time.
Pedí un soborno. Haced las maletas. Nah, que sigan con el club. Realmente todavía no se han puesto a eso.
Yeah!
I knew it. It's impossible now.
No, Andre, it's harder now. This hard cop has come to show us how much the fish is, and the fish is always so much more. We all know there was never going to be a club for Nordic music with the Speed Lab. Now it has a fighting chance. There needs to be a club for Nordic music in there. We need a win, Andre.
Vamos a llamar a este incidente de prevención de crímenes, pero estaré vigilando.
Speed in there. We'll do it clean. We'll do it true. We'll do it sober and real and beautiful. This will be a victory for the light.
Ok.
Okay, we'll try to do it without the drugs. We'll do a straight club up in there, spinning the maddest reels, and nothing but, I swear to God. Okay, Egg?
From here on, it'll be straight all the way.
Ok. Eso es todo por ahora.
Goodbye, officer.
We're close. True. Hard. Full. Car. Hard car to internally code. Good morning, yeah. 1, 2, 3. Yekokata. The place to be. Yekokata is...
Yekokata is an abbreviation from an intricate system.
Huh? I see you.
We're close. True. Hard. Full. Hardcore. Yeah!
This young man, or maybe it's not Godvolian.
You know about him?
You know Van Eyck?
Yes.
Wow.
The skinny wraith.
So am I. So am I.
Oh, is that why they call you Egghead?
Egghead to the mega. The K became the G. The boy became the man. The Advent?
No, al final nada más, macho. Las 2, las 3 en Canarias. El acertijo de cabeza huevo y lo de los sinusoides no lo
Hello
entiendo,
again.
¿eh?
I did, and I'm sorry. For what it's worth. Which is,
This is why I didn't go into the tent. Typical delinquency.
you don't get to choose your posse, they choose you. Mine are idiots, but they're mine. I tried to talk Andre out of it. I even tried not to lie to you.
Indeed, she merely tried to omit the truth instead.
I know, but I knew you'd see through their plan too. I'm not an idiot. I should have been able to control them, and I will in the future. May I ask, what did you tell them? Thank you. I'll get them under wraps, I promise.
Ok. Pero esto sigue sin ayudarnos. Todavía nada. Nada. Convencer a Sona Para eso vamos a tener que ayudarle con lo que sea que esté haciendo. Y yo me quiero ir a mimir para ir a hablar con el Ebrat y para no sé qué más cosas que ahora no me acuerdo. Ah, no. Para que se vaya este y vamos a hablar con Joyce. Así que voy a hablar con Sona a ver si la podemos convencer o por lo menos que nos dé la misión de qué necesitamos hacer para ayudarla y que se pire. Y luego vamos a hablar con Joyce.
Yes, what is it? I don't want to make anything work. Yes, anything. I don't want to make anything work.
97. Además, este sitio tampoco es tuyo, ¿eh?
Easy. When her research is done, she can move out.
Igual te puede echar un cable en la investigación.
No, I don't really need any
Pudiera
help with
echarte un cable
project.
para terminar el proyecto y ya no tendrías que vivir en una isla abandonada junto a este martillo. Piénsalo.
She thinks about it. A glassy look in her eyes. A gust of wind brings more snow in from the broken gallery.
All right. Bring me the game's offside copy from my old workspace, if you really want to help. It's stored on a filament memory, and I'm unable to go and fetch it myself.
Está almacenado en un filamento de memoria y yo no puedo ir a buscarla, vale.
It's a backup of my former employer's project.
She's making it extra simple for you.
Vale, el filamento de memoria lo tenemos.
But I'm hoping to use what's left of it to pinpoint the
Vale.
exact location of the anomaly. You just have to go to my old works.
¿No teníamos eso ya?
If it's called an off-site copy, then why is it still on-site?
Oh God, not this again.
Basement? Sounds...
And no, taking it outside the building wouldn't have protected it from the data loss. We clear?
Por antiguo del lugar te refieres a la zona comercial maldita.
Yeah,
Ok.
that's the one. You can get in through the bookshop. You just have to do some explaining to the bookstore lady. That's her name, I believe.
Ya ha estado.
Good. Then you might know the giant ice bear fridge in the building's cellar.
Ujú.
The filament is inside the fridge. Just go and get it.
El filamento está dentro del oso.
In the giant ice bear fridge. I just told you.
Sacar la copia de la nevera y traérmela.
But you've been to the fridge and it wasn't
Es
there.
lo que iba a decir.
There was a note saying...
Vale.
Wait. A note from whom? Did it specify where they took the filament memory?
La firma tal Sulislo.
Jawiza. Of course. Our project lead, Suliswov Jawiza. God, he was always so hell-bent on keeping the copy somewhere safe.
Ok.
Like it would have made a difference. The offside copy was perfectly safe when the data loss happened.
Si no hubiéramos
That
cogido la
data
misión de
was
esa,
anomalous.
esta nos hubiera redirigido hacia ahí.
And the heads. I won't
Me
even
gusta
get
mucho que
into the heads.
tenemos nuestro caso principal,
Millions of them.
pero todas estas... Ahí va, ¿a
Go
dónde le he
find
dado?
that copy from that ice cream maker, will you? Thanks.
Pero todas estas secundarias... Ah, vale, le estaba dando a quitar el... A quitar el micrófono, pero como no tengo el micrófono en estos cascos puesto, no pasaba nada. Voy a buscar la copia de la máquina de helados esa, ¿no?
Valley of a Thousand Heads. You like the sound of
No la
that.
pude abrir, está totalmente congelada.
This is getting ridiculous. Can't you just defrost it? Or, I don't know. I don't know about the ice cream maker. Just figure something out.
O sea, apagarla.
The bookstore lady hates me. Of course not. Because she's from Martinez. And people from Martinez have never... No.
The lieutenant coughs like...
Once I came in one morning...
Vale.
Thanks. And here's my Qualsund multi-tool. You might need it to hack loose some ice. It opens everything. If you get me the offside copy, then you can keep the Qualsund.
Ok. ¿Qué es esto? ¿No? Herramienta que probemos con esto, ¿no? Entonces aquí podíamos tepearnos. Por aquí arriba. Algún día quitaremos el cuerpo. Era este.
This orange machine is buzzing like an old submarine. It has 2 cables are plugged into the breaker box. The red one leads to the ice bear fridge, and the black one to the ice cream maker nearby. Something close to you.
Very smart. Opening the lid should be much easier after the ice cream.
Ok. Se quita al instante o tenemos que esperar.
This orange machine is dead still. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner and an electric freezer. The ice around it slowly melting.
Vale. Pues que siga melting. Digo yo que cambiará de dificultad entonces, ¿no? Voy a tepearme aquí. Para ir a dormir, que se vaya él. Y voy a hablar con la otra y luego ya dormimos, ¿vale?
It's getting cold.
Buenas noches, Kim.
This late in the night.
Un kiss.
Good night, officer.
Emplea un círculo de... Mola.
An old mirror hangs on the wall. You see the reflection of your face in it, adorned with
Venga, probamos.
the expression. Like the
Se
rest
nos
of
va a
you,
resistir
it
hasta el
comes
final
from a
del
bad
juego,
place
macho.
Somewhere in the past. That's all you know for now. On the table, you see a bowl of water, a
83.
rough soap, and next to it, like an artist with
Vale.
a brush or the sharp blade chafes against your skin. They feel so smooth, surprisingly so. The water reflects back a vague image of your clean-shaven. You almost look like a professional. The beardless nature of your cheeks makes the expression seem even more.
Es que ahora me da más miedo, ¿eh? Me prefería con barba. A ver. ¿Se lo ha quitado o no se lo ha quitado? No estoy muy seguro. Ahora, venga, a sobar, hijo.
The bed is comforting. If across the room, the heating system hums its soft lullaby. The mattress feels soft and sheets warm. It only
No he ido a
takes you
hablar con la
moments
otra,
for
me
the
cago
world
en...
to fall away.
Joder.
Thoughts, baby. A million little lights in the dark. You're one fine instrument, brother.
Recorded in you.
¿Y cargo? ¿Desde dónde cargo? Vale. 1.25. Y estamos... Nos pone... Creí que era el sótano, pero nos pone desde la tienda de campaña. Nada pasando. Ya iremos hoy. Creando la eternidad.
On and on it goes, for untold hours. At the disco where you first asked her to dance. Rising, rising. Above the dark curvature, the great wingspan of sleep. Studded with stars.
Behold, there are millions of them down there. The first time. The last time. The smoke in her mouth. The plotted flowers. The faces turning, changing.
¿Qué es esto?
It's the world, Harry boy. And you're made of it. Every day you're out there, you make more of yourself from it. I'm afraid you can't be unmade now.
Ok.
You can never forget this shit.
No quiero, es hermoso.
Beautiful. It's stuck on loop.
whirling, spitting out words and images.
You're the son of the world again.
Vuelves a ser un hijo del mundo.
Harrister, a ceaseless agent, picking up litter and old newspapers, collecting your little bubblegum wrappers and idiotic picture postcards.
Así es.
Meaningless, meaningless keepsakes.
Reading your awful letters and recalling things, aren't you? The
Soy un
endless
agente del mundo.
names of the world.
You'll go insane if you keep going like this. One more day, and you'll be in the loony bin. I just know you will. And for what, brother man?
For the money, baby. For the greater good. For Revacol. Always and only Revacol.
Solving your little crossword puzzles. Doing your tasks. Crossing names off
Creo que voy a tirar por
lists,
empatía.
trying to become some sort of world detector. It won't make it okay. There he goes again. He's a real political animal, our Harry. He still doesn't see that it's the world changing around him.
He's got no idea what he's in for.
¿Por?
'Cause only love can break your heart.
Ok, vamos a sobar.
Beep, beep, beep. The alarm is ringing, Harry. The disco circus goes on and on. You barely slept 3 hours last night.
Do it for the picture puzzle. Put it all together. Solve the world.
Ok. Recuperamos nuestra moral.
Good. You're up. Listen, there's something that's been bothering you for a few days now.
¿El qué?
It's a
El
suspicion,
pensamiento.
or a feeling really, that things are not quite in hand around here.
A tía deberíamos subirlo, la verdad.
An earth-shattering deduction from your psyche. What will those guys come up with next? Every day, things seem to spin more and more wildly, out of control. The center isn't holding. And oh sure, you've been made, but who's focusing on the big questions?
¿Qué se supone que debo hacer?
You've got to find out who bears la responsabilité. The most awesome, terrible thing. It is human nature to crave la responsabilité. Harry, la responsabilité
Vale.
isn't
Aceptar la
concerned
responsabilidad.
with trivial questions. Whoa. This isn't some kind of dictatorship. You can't simply seize la responsabilité for yourself. It must be given by a legitimate authority, like a committee. Only the most even-keeled minds in Martinez.
Que hago un grupo de psicópatas como yo.
Your half-brother, the lieutenant, is a natural place to start.
Eso es cierto.
Together, you'll be
Medio
able
hermano.
to discover who has la responsabilité in Revachol. And most likely, your findings will be collected in a report, which will be carefully reviewed by your superiors.
Okay.
Once they've reviewed it, those same superiors will produce a set of recommendations to be taken up at the next meeting of the Standing Committee. Rest assured, no matter what happens, it will be done through the proper channels.
Estoy listo para afrontar tal increíble cometido.
Good luck. Your report is eagerly anticipated.
Por probar.
An old mirror hangs on the wall. You see your reflection in it.
Necesitas el poema, ya no hay...
The expression fixed to your clean-shaven face. Mirror hangs on the wall. It's
Ahí
like
estás.
something snaps in you. A nerve ending. A
Más
thought.
7 teníamos
A
modificadores.
sadness. Your face in the mirror
18, la hemos
is
clavado
suddenly
con la
clean
justa.
of the layer that had distorted it for God knows how long. Just like that, it's over. The running gag that your life had become. A sad old man.
No sé a qué se referirá esto, pero bueno. Hola. Soy yo. Moralistas para asignar la responsabilidad. También, ¿quién sabe por dónde debes empezar? Suena con su proyecto. Vale, vamos a empezar por ir al... ¿Podemos tepearnos de aquí? Bien. Vamos a empezar por ir al puerto. Tururururu. Déjame pasar. Igual no hacía falta hacer todo este camino porque estamos trabajando para Ebrat, pero no sé. Corriendo, vaya. Voy a guardar antes de llevar a Ebrat a ver qué es lo que pasa. Y también podemos mirar a ver si sea... Uf, es que el sonido de aquí, ya lo sabéis. Cada vez que vamos aquí, se muchas alguras. También podemos mirar a ver si se ha descongelado ya el otro. Hemos dejado por la noche. Guardo rápido. No tiene nada nuevo por aquí. Oliwi.
Mr. Dubois.
Está hecho.
The Golden Boy returns once more. Wonderful. Simply wonderful, Harry. Of course. I already knew this.
Ya.
My friend, the mailman, confirms the letter is on its way.
Estaremos a punto, ¿no?
You've done a great thing today.
91,
You've
sí.
given the children of Martinez a real future, Harry, and proven yourself a real kingsman who's not afraid to
No me
make the
fío de
tough
ti un
decisions.
pelo.
You're in my inner circle. You too, Mr. Kitsuragi. We can talk about anything. The strike, the murder, your lost gun, nothing is off the table.
Judging from how happy he is, it looks like you did it. He doesn't appear to suspect trickery.
Okay.
Well done, sire. By guile and deceit, you're in.
¿Has dado tú la orden de asesinar a la víctima?
Order it. You know my men didn't kill him. They told you. It was a happy accident.
Okay.
You know how it is. No one takes the initiative. If I
¿Qué
wanted
ganas
him
con el
dead,
muerto?
I would have had to do it myself. Why a war of
Una guerra.
And what do you have to gain from a war?
Victory, Mr. Kitsuragi. I have victory to gain. We are going to start a war with the Wild Pines group and win before they... I have. It's a great story, Harry. Did you also know how the bee colony kills the giant hornet? They swarm and blanket it entirely until it suffers a massive heat stroke.
He crosses his hands contently.
Harry, we outnumber them 1,500 to 1. And that's just Martinez. With all the unions in Revachol, and with public opinion on our side, we can hold off 2 men, or 15 men, or even 50 men. The more they send, the worse it's going to look for them. They made a huge mistake hiring those guys. No one likes foreign mercenaries. The leftists hate them, the fascists hate them, even the moralists think they're in bad taste.
Esto no se lo vamos a decir. ¿Qué relación guarda esto con la
there
huelga?
is no strike, only war. Class war. Or, in business terms, a dawn raid. We're not going to give nothing. We're going to take Terminal B away from them. The roads, the gates, the containers, that big crane, even the damn coffee maker. We're going to take all of it for the people, and fuck Wild Pines.
The word fuck rings like a gunshot from his mouth.
So that's why you haven't let Joyce in?
Yes. It's also why I let that midget Gaumont go. He's too nice. I can't put him through this. Plus, he knows how to get in here. That woman can't tell her tits from her asshole. She has no chance.
Ok, ¿por qué me cuentas tus planes?
Because we're friends, Harry. Besides, it doesn't matter now. It's already happening.
¿Quién mató al ahorcado?
No idea. Could have been his own mother for all I know.
He really doesn't know. A guy, huh?
¿Cómo sabes que es un él?
I don't. I told you it could have been his own mother. I'm pretty sure it wasn't anyone.
He really doesn't.
¿Cuántos sois en el sindicato?
2,372.
Y además de nosotros.
2,300, and they're all well motivated. At least the ones you've seen.
¿Cómo vas a fundar tu nuevo independiente puerto?
Oh, you mean what sort of goods are going to be flowing through?
Clients would take a well-known multinational
Claro,
conglomerate over a local
los
mobster.
clientes se irán en desbandada.
Sure, some will go, but mark my words. The company will be unpleasantly surprised to see how many of them stay loyal to Martinez and to the new competitive contracts we can offer.
Okay.
With renewed zeal sparked by communal ownership, the men will be shipping those containers double time.
That's drugs.
Drogas.
Drug trafficking.
Drug trafficking? Don't be stupid, Mr. Kitsuragi. There are perfectly legal, 100% ethical chemical factories on the Samaran Isola. You don't need to be colonialist about it. All they do is produce components to keep the pharmaceutical industry running. That's people's health we're talking about. Old grannies, little babes, people with disabilities.
Eso es solo la punta del iceberg.
The company thinks transporting these chemicals in bulk looks bad, has bad optics, may be illegal in some countries. The Debarders Union, however, we're all about the large volume column.
In bulk shipping, large volume column is a major buyer, a shark.
We're gonna transport the living daylights out of those materials, Harry. So your sick kid can get his benefit.
Seguro, de los
Benefit is
niños.
a children's cold medicine, usually apricot flavored.
And the kids on the street can get speed and pyrrolidon.
También.
I'm an old-fashioned guy, Mr. Kitsuragi. I sometimes grab a beer with the boys, but I have no idea about the things you just mentioned. But if I were to supply ingredients for some sort of rainbow party...
He's basically admitting to it.
¿Te ayuda Ruby a asegurar tan magnífica cuota?
Harry, if I was supplying raw materials to drug manufacturers, I would need an army of rubies.
Understood.
Vale, es que es esto, pero no quiero informar sobre esto. ¿Se lo estás diciendo o no?
You know why you're such a good detective, Harry. Anyway, let's not focus on the sensationalism of the drug trade. This hypothetical drug trade is all anyone ever seems to be interested in.
Ya sabemos que hay
It can only
tráfico.
be a small part of the harbor's turnover, just like the harbor is, but a small part of Martinez.
Entonces hay tráfico,
Let's
no.
look at the big picture.
No nos lo va a
I'm gonna
decir.
unite them all into one economic body. We're going to incorporate this place to Kingdom Come. Everyone's going to be in on the wealth, and everyone's going to pull their weight. Harry, the future I have in store for Martinez will...
Oh yeah, skull and bones. Skull and bones on a Revacholian flag. The Revacholian Death Squad. Oh yeah.
Vamos a preguntar por algunos miembros específicos y luego preguntamos por el arma.
Union members, you can bother Leonard with that.
There's something different about him now. He's more vibrant, more alive in his big
Vale,
time
vamos.
mode.
¿Mi arma?
Harry, I've got to be honest with you. Your gun was found 2 days
Ya lo
ago.
sabía.
Withholding this information weighed heavily on me, but it had to be done.
Vale, ¿dónde está?
An old woman has it, and let me tell you, Harry, word on the street is she's a character, so watch out.
This must be the woman who bought the gun from Roy. The one he described
Vale,
as
la que se va a comprar Roy. ¿Quién es?
Yes, the same one. I see you've done your research. The pawn shop made the gun easy to track. Crazy stuff, Harry. Selling your gun like that?
Union Boy's gonna help you fix it. He winks at you. Don't worry, Harry.
The neighbors of this old woman contacted my men because they trust me and the
No
Debarders...
estoy luciendo por soportar. No me digas,
Apparently, she was waving it around at the entrance to her building.
no me digas que era la que estaba limpiando. ¿Quién es esta mujer mayor?
Unfortunately, I don't know anymore. You're gonna have to go in blind,
Te hace
Harry.
llamar la paz.
But she's an old lady. How dangerous can she possibly be? Oh, and she calls herself the Pigs.
There it is again. The pigs. Like Roy said, not good at all.
I, for one, find it refreshing. Finally, someone calls themselves a pig.
It actually sounds extremely bad, but let's not give him the
Luciéndola con gente alrededor.
As I said, she's a character. I didn't have time for details. It sounds like she's unstable, but
Vale,
don't
¿me
worry.
puedes decir dónde la
No
puedo
one got
encontrar
her.
exactamente a la
We
señora?
might be looking at someone with a medical history here. Watch out.
¿Podemos concretar un encuentro con ella?
I already have. Tonight,
Vale.
starting 10 o'clock,
A las 10.
near the old fish market on the coast.
A la lonja de la
the one on the
costa.
boardwalk, a little past the fishing village. Be careful, Harry. I would never set you up for anything dangerous.
La lonja de la
You did
costa.
ask for this. Now,
La lonja se
back to the fun stuff.
refiere a la aldea pesquera, ¿no?
She will be there from 2200 hours till 0200
De
hours.
10 a 2.
More fun stuff. Seems like we already have fun stuff to do.
Harry,
Respecto a las firmas.
by now well, let's just say
He proudly spread.
So the village is doomed.
you were there, you saw the place. Wait, reset. I have big plan. Harry, imagine a youth.
Que sí, que no me interesa.
Enough is enough. We're taking this district back. The war was 50 years ago, for God's sake. It's time to move on.
Sabía que te debías al pueblo, Brad.
And I knew you were one too.
There is true indignation in his voice when he's. And then there will be a giant statue of him towering above it all.
¿Vas a lanzar
I'm
una
not a
estatuilla?
symbolist, Harry.
You would look nice as a statue.
Ya. Parece que lo tienes todo bajo control. Cuenta con mi voto.
Oh, I do, Harry. I really do.
Eso
I'm
es
gonna make
todo
the
por
working
ahora.
man richer than Joyce Messier with that vote of yours. That's great, Harry. Great. This has been so great. I'm sorry we don't have
algo
more
más
fun.
sobre el
I'm
puerto,
always
no.
happy to educate and very nice, Harry. Is there anything else?
Irme. Esto no es una caña de pescar, ¿no? ¿Es? ¿Esto se refiere? Sí, ¿no?
Mr. Dubois, every work.
Era por si nos decía algo de eso, pero parece que no. Pilla para ahí. A ver, por favor, vaya saliendo. Y desde aquí no nos deja tepearnos, son sitios muy concretos. Bueno, pues tenemos una cita. Nos llevan de un lado para el otro, de un lado para el otro, macho, no nos dejan en paz. Vale, y tenemos un punto si lo quisiésemos usar en algo. ¿Estamos estudiando algo? Esto me lo tengo que mirar luego fuera de cámara. A ver si hay alguno de que nos valga de algo. De momento guardamos ese punto. Estoy intentando bajar. Por Dios. Vale, venga, tira para allá. Ya te quedas atrofiado. Ah, mira, sí, se nos ha quitado la sonrisa. Para pa pam 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 param pam pam pam. Vale, que no puede atravesar gente. A ver si se ha deshecho.
This orange machine is dead still. It has a hand-cranked ice cream.
Vale, la biblioteca. Podemos hacer eso. ¿Pero estaba abierta ya o era a partir de las 9? ¿Y ustedes quiénes son?
Inside, You see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone,
Poke the wall,
pull-out
pis, no sé
toolbox,
qué.
and
Coger la radio de nuevo.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
¿Biblioteca?
I'm afraid they're closed.
A las
We should
10
try
ahora.
again during.
Anything else, detective?
Todo por ahora.
57?
in the cabin, you see a
Cerrar.
set.
Vale, guardamos. Vamos a hablar con esta people. Hola, buenos días. Tiene que girar.
That's one brutal motor carriage.
Me ha... No sé. Is... No sé.
If I were a real skull now, I'd jack it, paint it in palm tree livery, then bottom light it, neon style.
A snazzy shit-ripped skullmobile like this would make a fine trophy. We could, like, hang fucking shrunken heads from the side mirrors.
Yeah, tribal shit. A cop carriage like this would have proper skull value.
¿Qué son los calaveras? Otros mierdas, ¿no?
While I appreciate the interest you take in my brutal motor carriage, I have to stop you right there. The RCM takes threats directed at its property seriously.
It's just theoretical work, Copper. No basis in reality. Man, if we were certified skulls right now...
Son novatos. ¿Quiénes
I can
sois?
tell you who we're not, cop. We're not snitches.
Ah, maricas.
Or
Es lo que quiere decir. Y entonces...
Which is not to say that the skulls are bitches and... On the contrary.
The part of this presentation you want to take home with you, cop man, is we're not part of the skulls yet.
Okay then, let's indulge in some intellectual exchange. These young men seem eager to share their beliefs.
¿Quiénes son los calaveras?
You don't know?
It's not a question. Don't get into it.
Me alegro de que preguntes.
The question was rhetorical.
Cuando ellos
The
más...
skulls are the most vicious gang of the Besmertne.
Ah.
Besmatine, or the Besmati, the Immortals, are West River Sholian crime syndicates.
The nastiest bunch of psychos ever.
Possessing
poco
an
igual,
infinite amount of fuck-all swagger, infamous
Ah.
for their non-verbal modus operandi.
Impresionante, o sea que solo se
If a
pegan.
skull spots you, he will pull out his dagger and stab you without saying a word.
The lieutenant's voice is as calm as usual.
They usually occupy the burnt-out quarter in Jamrock, or you can find them loitering around the brightly painted bottom-lighted vehicles.
Ah, I can't wait to become a skull. Bottom lights are wretched aggressive.
¿Sabéis algo del asesinato?
Murder? Yeah, sure.
Also, he was hanged.
No me toquéis las pelotas.
He was hanged from a tree.
Yeah,
These punks don't know anything.
Hey, stop right there.
Ah, this sounds like epistemology. A field so occupied by thought that it begins to question thought.
Sé que no sabes una mierda.
Exactly. How can one know shit?
We should move along.
Fíjate.
Knowing.
It seems that we...
Precisely.
¿Conocéis a Cindy la calavera?
Oh, yeah. Cindy's a right proper skull.
Ella sí es calavera.
Yeah. A true artist of the future. Just like Arno van Eyck.
By the way, if you see Cindy, give her our regards.
For all their nihilistic posturing, these young men are not lacking in youthful idealism. The lieutenant on your left is unusually lenient toward them.
¿Os gusta la música dance?
Oh man, yeah.
Me también.
We're not fucking kids, man.
Be wary of the abyss.
Probably because of how non-verbal their mode of operation is going to be. It's a threat.
Genial.
But I don't. In fact, I dislike them so.
Hey, there's no need.
Yeah. Didn't you cops, like, have some questions about skulls or
¿Por
some
qué no hay
shit?
más calaveras?
The Union does their share of policing in Martinez, at least where gangs are concerned. That's why there isn't much organized crime around here.
Apart from the unions themselves, of course.
Don't you worry about that. We're gonna make up for the deficit.
Yeah, we are. We're not franchise skulls. Well, because we can be just as...
But in a non-threatening and definitely legal way.
We'll fuck the system from the inside later. Just be cool now.
Right on, fuck. So what's happening?
¿A qué vienen esas chaquetas?
What about them?
¿Me maricas? Que no sé.
Well, first off, the word piss epitomizes the struggle taking place in the world. Things being defined as... Also, you've got to admit, it catches the eye. And since the
Tiene
what
sentido.
I mean by this is...
It seems that the young man has a certain expertise in at least one.
Like I said before,
I
Que no me
wonder
interesa
if the
tanto su
poet-
to
vida,
catch a fish, you'll need to hurl the lure many times.
Hablarlo
You
todo.
get more fish because when one
Hate to admit it, but is it a coincidence that here we have 2 badass jackets and 2 badass cops?
Oye, Kim,
Yes?
es que es una coincidencia
What is?
que tengan 2 chaquetas y nosotros seamos 2.
What are you implying?
¿Cuál te pondrías?
I'm not sure I understand you, detective.
¿Eres más del rollo mea maricas o mea madre? ¿O un mundo de mierda?
Neither.
Venga, Kim, es un ejercicio
Fine,
mental.
if only to end this discussion. Theoretically, if I were a juvenile delinquent, if I were to already be down that path,
Me
I
parece bien.
think seems about right, especially considering your heroic exit.
Gracias.
That's an origin story.
So are we done here? Or... You don't need us around for your secret whisper party, do you?
Vale, todavía no podemos. Te voy a quitar esas cosas. Te voy a quitar todo. Saludamos a Cindy. O hacer algo. Tururururu. Cindy, 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 Cindy.
Hello again, officers. I don't believe it. I've never known those boys to have manners.
The bemusement in her voice doesn't fully mask genuine tenderness.
Parece que te tienen en alta estima.
They'll never be skulls, but their hearts are in the right place.
Mm.
Fat chance. But you can still do your part to revitalize the neighborhood.
She throws you a
Have you noticed the quiet? Every so often, this place is a sepulchre.
What is it with these skulls and cooperation? They have to be the nicest violent street gang in Rivershaw West.
Mm. Hemos hablado con ella, pero tampoco hemos conseguido nada.
Just an ordinary wall.
Demasiado bajo, tío. Una animalada. Voy a intentar bajar el cuerpo, tío. Es que no sé. ¿Qué más hay por el otro lado? Lavar la cosa esa. ¿Dónde se lava, macho? En el agua. Hola, chiqui. Podemos hablar con ella también. Kuno.
Fuck does Kuno care?
Qué legendaria. Nah.
Kuno doesn't fucking...
Seguimos teniendo esto. ¿Podemos encontrar algo más aquí en estas huellas?
What do you see?
No, está todo. Por ahora está todo.
There he still is, looking right through you with his white eyes. The the smell is
Bueno.
too late. Until a pool of the smell of Commodore Red, right?
Keep it. The hangover is clearly making this worse for you. If you can handle the headache. Some officers use it to... That young woman, the gardener, mentioned she used salts for the smell. If she doesn't have any, there might be some in the fridge store.
Acquiring ammonia will provide a modifier to the white check. Modifiers make checks easier and allow
Okay.
you to...
Vale. Podemos ir a comprarlo o pedírselo a la otra, pero la otra ya no estaba aquí, creo. ¿No se fue? Y esto tengo la sensación de que podemos seguir investigando por el hecho de que... Coño, aquí hay más gente.
The theme on that pinball machine is a standard royalist theme, clinging to a picture book version of the past century, waiting for the king to come back and cast out all the profiteers.
Echar a todos los aprovechos y los homosexuales.
Basically, imagine a yellow plastic crown with a liquor brand emblazoned on it. It comes free with the sentiment is called.
No, aquí no está. Hola.
Hi, gendarme. Hi. So what brings you here?
Legendaria, hay algo en su comportamiento. ¿Qué estás haciendo
Admiring the
aquí?
atmosphere. What about you, officer? Really? Well, oh yes, let's see. He knocked nothing. Why shouldn't he? What friend?
Vamos a ir pasando
No,
esto.
I don't. Muscular, handsome.
Va solo.
Yes, but he was speaking to someone on his. Yes, you know those tinies. Just reporting back whatever I was telling him. Oh, let me think. He sounded vaguely Oranese. Sure. Anything else on your mind? You did. And how did you like him? I told you he can be very useful. I guess that's the charm of powerful people. A visitor from the first to his opportunity, or is it just
Y ya sabíamos lo que hacía.
friends? I told you that it is on Sundays. He has keys, and he likes the view. What about me, gendarme?
Nada.
Bye-bye, gendarme.
¿Estos señores me van a dejar hablarles de algo más o no? ¿El Capi?
Again?
No.
I...
¿Y tú?
Yes? What is it?
God damn it, you leave her alone. Keep your will...
Can I actually help you with some...
Yes, of course. Preposterous. I mean, you would remember if they were, right?
Of course I'm with him. Why do you ask?
Well, he's not. He's a sack of shit barely kept together.
Please, let's not turn this into another exchange, okay? It means I'm a patrol officer.
Nada, es manía. Digo manera, no es manera.
Hello, dear. There you are again.
No. Aquí ya habíamos hablado, vale. Este señor se sigue sin poder hablar. Prácticamente es un loquero sin diploma. Ah, entiendo. Una antigua lonja. Paseo marítimo más allá de la aldea pesquera. Ok. ¿Puedo hablar con este para lo de la responsabilidad? ¿Me ha citado?
Yes. I don't know what to say. Perhaps I'm not really sure about this turn of events. Either way.
La cara de cadáver me cubrían.
You were saying? I'm glad to hear it, detective. I was wondering when we'd get to this very subject. If you ask me, it's high time for you to set aside this frivolous side. Why are you pronouncing it like that gentleman? You know what? Forget it. What specifically are you trying to assign responsibility for? That isn't... Next, I suppose you're going to tell me you need to form a committee to assign this responsibility. Fascinating. And here I be. In any event, I am just a humble law official. I may work under the moral intern's umbrella. You know who might be, though?
Señor
That Mr. Villedroit, the gentleman you met in the romance. If I were trying to get in touch with the coalition, I would start by seeking... Now, was there anything else?
No. Tenemos tantas misiones secundarias que hacer. ¿Puedes concederme otra cita?
Oh, a committee. And if I may ask, gendarme.
He's all bemused skepticism. He doesn't actually care what you want with his friend.
God, of course it is. As though I don't have enough going on. In any case, I would love to help. But the thing is, he might have mentioned something about making a tour of some historical sites up the coast. In an unofficial capacity, of course. Not a clue.
Lo tendremos que buscar. Seguramente puede que esté en los edificios esos donde hubo lo de los fusilamientos.
Bye bye, gendarme.
Bye bye. A ver. Zona con su proyecto, amigos, unosoides. Cadáver del paseo marítimo, que es a las 10, ¿no? Vale, todavía no tenemos eso. El paseo marítimo. Preguntar por Ruby, qué es lo del otro lado, el origen del disparo. Esto todavía no lo hemos visto y juraría que hemos visto el paseo marítimo entero ya, ¿no? Esta es la autopsia. El enigma racial. Es que no quiero eso y luego tener que gastar otro punto para quitármelo. Ah, vale, esto. El amoníaco a la jardinera compraron en el frite. Hola, racista. Hola, amiga. Rosas amarillas a la ventana. Estas son distintas de las que le dejaron a la otra. Vale, vale, vale. Antes tenía todo esto para preguntar.
You see several
Paquetes
packaged
impermeables.
raincoats fill up. The packages are small, discreet,
Ah, un impermeable.
sloppily stacked, making them easier to
¿Qué es
take.
eso?
What is what? If you want to buy.
Her attention is drawn to the raincoats. Stealing one undetected will now be more difficult.
Vale, no pasa nada. Y ahí hemos dicho que da resistencia. Ok. Igual cojo uno de
A
moral.
colorful display of cigarettes and out. The bottles wink at you. There, in that dark green glass. All in vain. The great flowing
I'm obliged to inform you that both alcohol and cigarettes damage your health. But I guess you already know that.
No, no quiero nada de eso. Un magnesio.
A small cabinet on the wall is filled with various medicine bottles, nasal sprays, and blister packs. They all bear the Saint Baptiste Pharmaceutics logo.
Estos van mejor.
Okay, here. I hope Saint Baptiste makes you feel better or something. Okay, here. I hope Saint Baptiste.
Ok. Y ahora tengo que hablar contigo para lo otro.
Is this about
Amoníaco.
She looks up.
Yes. What we have is there, in the medicine cabinet. Go take a look yourself.
Ok.
A small cabinet on the wall is filled with various
Más caro el amoníaco.
nasal sprays,
Ok.
and blister packs.
Okay. Don't lie.
Me voy a meter por el culo, ¿te parece bien? Y no me voy a dar cuenta porque no lo voy a poder oler con el amoníaco. ¡Ah! ¡Ah! ¡Elena! Vamos a intentarlo otra vez. Tendríamos que bajar el puto cuerpo de algún año de estos.
There he still is.
42.
Looking right, you crack open the ammonia ampoule and breathe in. The
Siempre
odor of
huelen
death
tan
is
más.
still stronger. It's a spell of the mind telling you to run, and you.
They do after 7 days, yes. We are deep in decomposition here.
Ok,
The
acércate un
man
poco más.
before you is naked, but for a pair of underpants and enamel.
Ah, o sea que nos hemos acercado, no lo hemos bajado.
Greenish, marbled with decaying veins, and
Vale.
blotched by lividity. A
Investigar
fading
las
web of
botas.
tattoo. The material appears to be ceramic, delicate and fragile.
Sí.
They feel alien to the world around
Es
you.
el resto de la armadura que tenemos.
These are clearly not boots. They're armor. Possibly
Exacto. Lo sabemos, lo sabemos.
Technically speaking, these are sabatons, not boots.
Tenemos el resto de la armadura.
The lieutenant uses a memo technique A6. That's not just any notebook. It's a classic. It's all you, baby.
¿Qué clase de armadura es esta exactamente?
Ceramic plate, zirconium dioxide, under the heel.
Mejor talón. Fairweather.
Fairweather model T500 VE.
Pero si lo tenemos
I'm guessing
nosotros.
that's piece by piece. He's been out. We should keep a lookout for these species. The armor could
Nueva
yield
tarea, ¿dónde está el
information.
resto de la armadura? Ya la tenemos.
This is one thing he might actually know.
The sabatons dangle off the man's decaying form.
El material parece fuera de lugar.
It is. We've requested similar material for a full set.
For the northwest region of Revachol, an officer's average yearly income.
Not too much, yes.
The lieutenant nods, wiping his finger.
¿Cómo es que este tío se podía permitir? No está pillando que ya hemos hecho. Ah, vale, sí. Mira, justo iba a criticar eso. Pensar que han pensado en diálogos según en qué parte nos encontrásemos de la investigación cuando fuésemos a por el este.
A small bell-like sound.
It's anything but. This material is a kinetic...
Faint, like whirls of floorboards. If trees were made of porcelain, the smooth, glossy surface fractures into ever... The whirls are in the shape of a letter and number combination. E50,
ok, número de
100,
serie.
Good. Can you read it to me?
X5415674567.
We have a make and a number. That's something. We can use the radio in my
Vale, muy
when
bien.
we're done.
A las
Either
10
station
podemos
can
ir
choose it
y
for
hacer
us.
las dos cosas. Tirar de la
The
bota.
stench fills your nostrils.
Stop! Pig's gonna pull his head off.
Brutal!
Ah, es una mala idea.
You're going to pull his...
Do it, homo!
Pull his head up.
Indeed.
What are you trying to achieve anyway? Why are you hanging on to that boot? How many clothes do you need? There's no way you're getting...
You're sure there's a way to peel them off. But first, the body needs to be down.
Ok.
And second, it would probably be better if the lieutenant wasn't around.
Sí, sí,
The
sí.
anticipation makes you crack your fingers.
Processing will take care of them.
The cadaver slowly twists on the cargo belt.
Ok,
His
vamos a
torso
mirar la
covered in
cinta.
tat- The hangman's knot is pulled tight by the weight of the corpse below. This is a steel-reinforced cargo lashing belt, big brother of the regular cargo
Vale.
belt. It's used for
No me
tying
preguntes
cargo
cómo lo
under
sé, pero es una cinta de amarre.
Airlifting. I thought it was used on lorries for strapping cargo to them. The local harbor uses
tal
6
cual.
rotors to shuffle containers around.
Ujú.
I get the sense they use whatever was on hand without paying much attention to... Right now, everything seems to fit their confession.
Claro, que ya han confesado. La cinta está reforzada.
I was afraid it would be. Thin steel wiring, parallel strands. This makes getting him down more problematic than I had assumed.
¿Cómo harían para subirlo?
A noose is one of those things that's easier to use.
¿Irían
one
por
way
la
around.
escalera del árbol?
That ladder can't carry a grown man. I didn't see any splintering either, did it?
Could be. The shape of the branch supports the theory.
Ujú.
The cadaver hangs from the cargo belt.
¿Tatuajes?
An intricate web of blue lines stretches
A map of the stars.
as if someone left out most of the night sky, filtering it through personal choice. The principle of this filter remains unknown to you.
Aquí hay algo
The
que
thought
se me
dissipates,
escapa.
and you feel as though you were only half right.
So am I.
¿Vas a pegarle otro tiro o qué?
He wears a wide leather belt around his waist and a gun holster under his arm. He takes a thin piece of
Placa de aluminio.
aluminium from his coat pocket and pulls it open. Sounds like a sword being unsheathed. A small lens appears. Some sort of camera.
Dejar trabajar al teniente.
Shit, Kuno! What the fuck is
Una
that?
cámara, ¿no? Te va a robar el arma, ten cuidado.
An instant color camera.
Ah, de las que tienes que hacer todo el ese... Como los rifles de antes, que tenías para cada tiro tenías que hacerlo igual
This is the
aquí,
first
con cada
time he
foto.
openly acknowledges the kid's existence.
I have only 2 ampoules, so nobody move. I don't want to waste one.
A sound, a shrill flash, followed by the
Mira
breaking of
qué
a small
guapo está.
ampoule of
Es
glass.
que parecen botas del
You
Imperio
see
Galáctico,
streams
macho.
of
Por
colour
eso quiero la armadura
onto
entera.
the thick, glossy piece of paper, rolling out.
In case we need it.
Un cacharro flipante.
Yes. It is pretty cool, isn't it?
Pues.
There is only one ampoule left. Use it wisely.
¿Mm? Vale, ya veremos para qué la podemos usar. ¿Para qué queremos la
It
foto?
contains insight to the victim's person. This was a man
Los
of
tatuajes
physical
de la vida.
violence. The story he wanted his body to tell was important to him. It is his letter to us. Now, if you could find someone to decipher it.
Ujú. Vale, puedo quedármela, debería echarle un vistazo más tarde sin el olor del muerto.
Sure. Just don't lose it.
Esperaré, no.
The glossy-eyed corpse looks by, his mouth mute and his skin as colorful as the chemical rainbow on the photo paper.
Míralo a los
His
ojos.
eyes are milky white and blind to the world. These eyes used to be blue, baby blue. Dark brown hair grows on his head. His face is ready to explode
Ujú.
from the organic process.
Realmente sabemos quién es.
The death's head grin has passed. What remains is an unrecognizable
Sus
mess.
ojos eran azules.
When he says Occidental, he means white. Originally from the Occidental
Dime quién eres, hombre muerto.
Indy.
I'm gone.
Uno que se ha ido. ¿A dónde te has ido?
Into the wild
La
pale
palidez.
yonder.
¿Dónde está
In
eso?
the past. Way out in the west.
No puedo abrir el maldito compartimento de mi portapapeles.
The blue heart. Oh, that's good shit. You'll love it. Just press down and fuck it open like you always do.
Espero que no sea un compartimento donde tenemos drogas, que no me sorprendería.
Fuck it hard. Cuerpo the clown.
He means force. It'll work.
Vale, ya veo que te has ido. Pero ¿quién eres?
I'm a joke. Look at me.
Ahora sí lo eres, pero ¿quién eres cuando estabas vivo?
Killer. A motherfucker. And a killer.
Tengo que hacerte otra
Go
pregunta.
ahead.
¿Qué está pasando?
What do you mean? It's the power of your imagination. Go ahead.
¿Por qué me encantan tanto las
Ask me more,
preguntas?
Because
Madre
you're a
mía.
copperoonie.
Y dame preguntas.
Here you go, you loony.
Me llamo Luna.
Fuck no. You're no Rooney. You ain't no tequila sunset. You're probably just Harry or something. You might be onto something there. Because you have.
Que se
Do I
burles.
remind you of some?
A child born with Muller's disease, harlequinism, grown up miraculously.
You sure I got out of that one. Come back later, Corpo. Amuse yourself with my frank man, of course.
Vale, no nos dice nada
Come
más.
back later, Corpo.
As you narrow your eyes, the monster before you blurs into a violent mess of green and pink. This is a trick. You've done it before. Pink is where the blood settled in the first hours post-mortem. Only the lower extremities are pink with a dash of blue. His fatted hands, thighs, and his neck, just above the noose. The rest of the corpse appears dark green in the cold spring air.
Su cara y mano están rosadas, los muslos
I see
también.
it. His neck too. The lividity goes right up his chin. We have good, well-pronounced discoloration here.
Ok, relajemos la
The
vista.
monster comes back into focus, an explosion of color, coursing with dark marbled veins.
So, what do you think? To purposefully mislead us. They must have hung him fast after that bullet hit. This is agreed, especially on...
You would still like the hypostasis marks in the neck to be a bit more pronounced.
Maybe it looks faint to you? It could be more pronounced, actually.
Claro que lo movieron después de la muerte.
There's always a chance.
Ya lo sabemos.
We should check for... I agree.
There are his personality.
Totally dead. That sounds about right, yes.
Hay algo que sale de él.
A pool of blood and feces has eaten into the frozen mud below the man's feet. Purge liquid is dripping into it.
The victim appears to have contained no more than half a kilogram of digestion at the time of death.
The fuck are you saying?
Talking about shit.
Hemos
Did
tenido
we?
suerte.
I don't feel lucky.
Le dieron una paliza a los
They do.
moratones. Sí.
Most of them are post-mortem.
Stop talking and
It means you fucked him up good, Kuno. Fucked him up brutal like.
But there is no breath to catch.
Ok, ¿cómo lo
Only the-
bajamos?
Are you sure we finished the preliminary examination of the cadaver? We might miss some of these things once he's done.
Creo que hemos sido minuciosos.
The steel
Otro
reinforced belt
nivel.
presents a unique challenge. I brought chain cutters, but I don't see a good angle of approach to the belt.
He doesn't actually think the challenge is unique. He thinks it's frustrating,
Tenemos
annoying,
dos
and
ahí
harder
puestos,
than
¿eh?
he thought.
Vale. Coordinación. Esto si hay que meter un tiro con la ESA, lo subimos.
The cadaver is a good 1.2 meters up. Neither one of us can reach the belt without assistance. And even if we do, there's the question of cutting the airship strength material.
¿Y los del otro lado? O sea, los del puerto, no. Decía los Hardy Boys, ¿si lo han subido?
Someone else?
What was that about processing, then? Weren't they supposed to take care of the boots? Why don't they help?
No te falta
Sadly,
razón.
yes. The whole RCM is out there. I know it's hard, but I assure you, the others won't come to help us. And we
¿Pedir ayuda en el
I
puerto?
was really hoping we wouldn't.
I would really prefer if there was another way. These people might have an agenda. But what other options? The corpse twists on the belt.
¿Y un tiro?
Bang bang time, pig! Shoot his head off!
How?
Where the buckle ties the rope to the branch. That's a good spot to aim.
Mm-hmm.
Where?
Yeah, now we're talking. And
don't miss!
The lieutenant is undecided. On one hand, he wants to shoot some gun. On the other, it's an awfully stupid idea.
I'll blow his head off.
Yeah, take the shot.
Dispara. ¿Qué más da? Si ya llevamos aquí...
His elbow sharp. The lieutenant and produces a
que dispara de verdad. Vale.
He drops a paper
Voy a decir, ya llevamos
in the
aquí
barrel,
7 días más
separates the
4.
scouring stick, and
Ya nos da un
gives the
poco...
cartridge 5 tucks, securing it in place. That's a Kiel A9090 armistice, mass-produced. He then steps back and assumes the fellow's test position, taking aim. The corner of his eye twitches. His finger is on the trigger.
Dispara ese hijo de puta.
The kid's voice is drowned in a shrill blast that echoes off the walls.
No lo ha bajado.
God damn it.
Pasa nada.
A lot of things were wrong with that shot. The fellow's test was the wrong choice. His shoulders were raised. He feels bad about it. About his eye.
Fucking idiot! Mukabat asshole!
Hagas lo que hagas, no lo consueles.
Kuno could have hit it easy, but then Kuno's not fucking...
No, we are lucky. Any more mistakes could put us in an unfortunate position. I have to say, it's beginning to look unlike...
You know, you don't feel like too bad of a shot yourself.
¿Me prestas el arma?
It's bad as it is. Us shooting... Go ahead. I'm not stopping you. Just...
They only have...
This is the sorriest pair of pigs.
Yeah, take it, you fucking banana point.
Me voy a subir un punto.
Shoot yourself in the mouth.
The cold piece of bakelite and gun.
The fuck are you waiting for?
The buckle comes into focus in your sights.
Why don't you just shoot yourself
Coordinación
in your
ojo-mano.
mouth?
Desafiante, 12 apretar el gatillo. Podemos intentar esto. Ah, que es roja. Si la fallamos no nos deja hacerlo otra vez, ¿no? Y no podemos subir más nivel. Vale. Empatía. Vamos a subir la autoridad. La retórica. Apuntar a Kuno es. Titón.
Oh, what? You gonna fuck me?
33. Venga, vamos, por Dios.
Try now, fucking faggoty.
Lo tenemos.
The buckle
Más
explodes into
importante.
tiny pieces, coming loose with a whir. With your hand numb from the recoil, you look at the body slump down, looking straight at you, helpless.
¿Quién te ha matado?
Trapped within
Communism.
Ah, muy bien.
It takes a millisecond for the association to flash within your. Then the rigor in his
Eso te iba a decir. Se va a quedar ahí para
gives
siempre.
up, and
Ya.
he smashes sideways
70.
into the spring mud.
A punto de subir otro nivel en la conversación. 2 niveles en la misma conversación. Ahora, para que aprendas. MCR, nena, MCR.
Ace is high.
Ace is high.
The Ace is High, a custom invented by the aerostatic brigades during the revolution,
Éxito.
is used to celebrate success in Revachol.
Chocarla. Ah, no, nunca lo vamos a dejar colgado.
The lieutenant takes a little hop to perform the customary salutation. Your palm hurts from the slap.
I knew these guys were...
Nos han dado 5 cosas al cielo, ¿no? ¿Y esa qué es lo que hace? Vamos a ver, porque si es chula la investigo ya. 5 haces Ace is High. Es la primera. A ver.
Aces high.
Intentando leer. Empatía +1 con King y +1 de espíritu corrupt. No me parece mala, ¿no? Empatía hacia Kim siempre nos viene bien. Creo que la voy a coger. Estamos a punto además de subir de nivel otra vez. O sea que bien venía la habilidad esa de más experiencia, ¿eh? Vamos a pasar de ellos.
We will perform a field autopsy and determine the cause of death.
Ok.
Excuse me.
Y ahora que ya lo tenemos, lo podemos explorar entero. Algo que llevaba muy dentro.
It looks like I feel like taking a break from the stench. I'm sorry to interrupt the jubilations here. Just a little breather before we do the autopsy.
Devolverle su
I would
arma.
suggest we interview Everhart and Joyce, the leader of the union and the Wild Pines rep. But we've already done that, so it's up to you, detective. Take us where we need to be.
Okay.
He trusts you have plenty of things in the task chain.
Vale, pues lo vamos a dejar aquí. Vamos a empezar el siguiente capítulo con con la autopsia. Así que nada, espero que os haya gustado. Yo me lo he pasado muy bien. Y nada, nos vemos.